Inception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's claws, the birth of Nimrod, and not the son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. Jesus is real.
Shalom, 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 Israel.
Shalom.
Shalom. Welcome to another class here at ISBHPK. We're located here in Houston, Texas. The school address is 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, zip code 77071. We got classes out here in Houston on Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 10 p.m. Fridays from 6 to 9 p.m. Saturday Shabbat morning class from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And you know, we got classes out there in San Antonio, Texas as well. So if you'd like to congregate with the brothers out there in San Antonio, Texas, hit us up, and we'll definitely get you linked up with the brothers out there in San Antonio. The address for the school out there in San Antonio is 4219 Senegate Street, San Antonio, Texas. Zip code 78217. Definitely link up with the brothers out there in San Antonio, and we got the brothers out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico as well. So if you'd like to link up with those brothers out there, same thing, hit us up, and we'll get you in touch with those brothers out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where they also do the Blog Talk radio from Albuquerque, New Mexico as well. That's with the brother Mashaba, the brother Ahmad, Lakawa. They got the brothers out there, Shalimah. So definitely hit us up. Well, we can get you the link out there for the Blog Talk Radio. Actually, the Blog Talk Radio link is blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, and it's from Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Again, it's blogtalkradio.com/MASHAHBA. Definitely subscribe to that on your podcast and check that out. Get get all the tidbits, the morning morsels, all that. And Passover is coming up. Passover will be hosted here in Houston, and it'll be hosted in the same location as it was hosted in last year, and that location is the Sterling Banquet Hall, venue number 2. Again, it's the Sterling Banquet Hall, venue number 2, here in Houston, Texas. The address is 10112 Hammerly Boulevard, Houston, Texas, zip code 77080. For those of us staying in Houston, it's very easy to find. All you do, you take the Beltway 8 north, take the Beltway 8, exit Hammerly. It's right next to the Beltway 8. Very easy to find. So that's for those of us living in Houston. And even if you come in, you're coming in from out of town to find the location to the Passover. It's easy. It's right when you exit the Hammerly exit off the Beltway. You'll see it right there on your left. And if you would like to give for the Passover as well, we already got the location, but we're still working on getting a few things for the Passover, for the lambs as well. So if you would like to give a contribution to the Passover, it's definitely welcome and needed. Definitely welcome and needed. So definitely contribute to the Passover if you're able to. And we just had Purim. We just celebrated Purim. That's why we didn't have class Monday. But you know, we just celebrated Purim. It was great. And shout out to all the brothers and sisters that took part in Purim. And it was definitely good, man. We definitely enjoyed ourselves. So To all the brothers out there, I hope y'all enjoyed. To all the brothers and sisters out there, we hope y'all enjoyed it as well. Y'all know we got our oil business, so look out for the website. It's coming soon. And Israel Ware will not be taking any orders until after the Passover. So get ready for that. Definitely get a garment if you're going to the Passover. We got kids class. Kids class is postponed until after the Passover as well. And we ask that you like, share, and subscribe to all our videos on YouTube. Again, we ask that you like, share, and subscribe to all our channels. We got the 5 Minutes of Wisdom, the kids class, the cable show, all that. Like, share, get it out, get the word out. And we got the cable show every Tuesday it's on 8:30 p.m. So definitely tune into that. And if you got any questions, concerns, you can hit up the two priests. We got Priest Kazakia. His number is 281-707-2737. We ask that you text only during class. Again, we got the brother Kazakia. His number is 281-707-2737. Again, we ask that you text only during class. We got Priest Kwatazak. Same thing. His number is 303-557-8979. We ask that you text only during class. Again, his number is 303-557-8979. Text only during class. And any concerns, anything like that, you can email us at isbhbk@isbhbk.org. And any donations, the Wells Fargo account number is on the screen. The Google Wallet is on the screen. So with that, we're going to open it up for questions. So if y'all have any questions online, definitely send them in. We'll give y'all a few seconds to send in the questions before we start class. Give y'all a few seconds before we jump right into class. Got a good class set up for us today. But yeah, y'all definitely get ready for the Passover. The Most High's holy day is coming up.
No questions.
What's up?
I was saying there's no questions online so far.
No questions. Alrighty. There's no questions. We'll jump right into it. We will jump right into it. There's no questions. So the first scripture we're going to hit is going to be Genesis chapter 22 and verse 2. Again, the first scripture that we're going to hit is going to be Genesis chapter 22, verse 2. So what we're going to go into today's class topic is called Unmovable, or being steadfast in the Most High's work, in the Most High's will, and being a soldier for the Most High. Like the scripture says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life. The scripture also says, let us lay aside every weight, so that we may be able to do the work of the Most High perfectly. So the topic of the class is called steadfast. The reason being is because we got to understand why it's very important for us to be steadfast, especially in this time that we're living in. And when you think about it, we're the ones that's enlightened. The Most High is the one that woke us up, put the knowledge on us, and He put it on us for a reason. He put it on us so we could be examples to our people, so we could wake our brothers and sisters up. So it's our jobs, man. When we have this knowledge, this wisdom and understanding, we are the pillars. And what is a weak pillar? A weak pillar is good for nothing. The building can't be built. Nothing can be done with the weak pillar. That's like having a flat tire. It's useless. So it's very important for us to be steadfast, because we become that strong tower. We become that strong pillar. And we're able to do the Most High's work correctly. So the first scripture we're going to hit is Genesis chapter 22 and verse 2. I'm I'm going to read it till the brothers come in. And it's Genesis chapter 22, verse 2. Well, we'll start at verse 1, actually. Genesis chapter 22, verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. Verse 2. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son, Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. Now, when you think about it, right? Just think about it. The Most High tempted Abraham. So we got to understand that the Most High is the one that's going to tempt us. The Most High is the one that puts these obstacles, or these so-called obstacles, in our paths. So that's one thing that we have to remember. Whenever we're going through anything, any form of affliction, any form of trial, or what we consider to be a trial, or what we consider to be an affliction, we got to remember who's the one that is ordaining it for us. And that's the Most High. Just like the Most High is tempting Abraham right here. It says the Most High is the one that tempted Abraham. Verse 2 from the top. And he said, Take now thy son, thine only son, Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. Now think about it, man. Think about it. The Most High is telling Abraham, sacrifice your only son, Isaac, unto me. Sacrifice Isaac. Isaac is the one that was supposed to have the promise. Isaac is the one that the covenant was supposed to go through. And not only did he tell Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, he said, go onto the land of Moriah and sacrifice him there. So guess what? Abraham was not in the land of Moriah just yet. So think about it. Abraham is about to sacrifice his only son, the one that the covenant is made to. And not only that, but he has to travel with his son to the whole other land that the Most High wants him to sacrifice him at. So just think about it. While they're journeying to this land, think about the thoughts, think about the things that's going on inside of Abraham's mind while this is happening. Think about how steadfast he had to be, how unmovable he had to be. And you know, this is just one example that I wanted to bring out to show us. Imagine if that was to happen to you, how would you react? How would you react if the Most High came and was like, listen, I need you to sacrifice your son. I need you to sacrifice your daughter onto me. A lot of us, we can't even make the sacrifice to come together. A lot of us, we can't make the sacrifice to come to a feast day that the Most High ordained. A lot of us are individual lights where we don't gather together for nothing. Absolutely nothing. We don't want to deal with no camp. We don't want to deal with no brother. We don't want to deal with no sister. We don't want to deal with anything. If it's not about us, we don't want to deal with it. So imagine if the Most High was to come to you and tell you to sacrifice your only son or your only daughter. After it took you 99 years just to have the seed. So imagine how steadfast Abraham had to be, man. Him and Sarah, Abraham and Sarah waited so long to have a child. And they finally had this child. And now the Most High wants you to sacrifice this child. After he made you send away your other child, Ishmael. So think about how steadfast you have to be in the faith and everything that the Most High puts in front of us. Think of how strong you have to be. Think about how strong you got to be, man. Well, let's jump to Genesis chapter 22 and verse. Same thing, Genesis chapter 22, verse 3. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up.
You had a question?
And went.
I don't think you had any questions.
Wow, there's no questions online.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you went straight into that? Okay.
No questions.
Where you at?
Genesis chapter 22, verse 3.
Oh, oh.
Genesis 22, verse 3. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went unto the place of which the Most High had told him.
So you can see Abraham didn't even have a rebuttal. He didn't question him, nothing. He just went ahead, sat on his ass, got his servants, went, took Isaac his son, and went right into it. So think about the mind state that Abraham had to have. Jump to verse 10.
Verse 10. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son.
And look at that. Abraham went all the way. I know we're skipping ahead, we're jumping ahead. But just to show the example of Abraham. The Most High told Abraham what he wanted him to do. Abraham didn't even question it. Abraham did not even question it. Went ahead, took his son all the way up. I know we jumped ahead to verse 10, but he took him all the way to where he took the knife, actually about to sacrifice his son like the Most High told him. Read.
Verse 11. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I.
Verse 12.
And he said, Lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do thou anything unto him. For now I know that thou fearest the Most High, seeing that thou hast not withheld thy son, thine only from me.
Just think about
Only
that,
son
man.
from me.
Like the brother said, man, faith beyond measure. Faith beyond measure. That's why Abraham's called the father of faith. And it's beautiful, man. Abraham's the perfect example to open up for this class, because it's showing you almost the ultimate sacrifice. The Most High sacrificed his own son, Yahushua, because he loved us. And as you see it right here, Abraham would have sacrificed his only son as well, Isaac. Why? Because he loved the Most High. He had faith in the Most High. And that's the same way we have to be. Mm-hmm. We got to have that same faith, that same love for the Most High like Abraham did. He's the perfect example for us, man. Let's jump to Genesis chapter 37, verse 28. And now we're going to touch on Joseph. We're going to touch on Joseph to show how Joseph's mind was.
Genesis 37,
verse 28.
Verse 28.
So we've seen how Abraham's faith was, how he was unmovable. The Most High told him, man, sacrifice your son. No complaints. Went ahead and did it.
And that's the typical thing that every Israelite goes through on having to sacrifice something for the Most High. It's the Most High's way of proving them. It's always something. If it's obviously in this instance, he was going to really put him to death. The Most High ain't asking for that. He's not asking for you to put anybody to death or kill anybody, but he's asking you, could you give these things up? You know, if any man love father, mother, sister, brother more than me is not worthy of me. A lot of people can't give those things up. And for the Most High, you know, a lot of times the job gets in the way. A lot of times the boot time, you know, and that's why we've been touching on it a lot about you did 30-something years of wickedness. You know, you and your rib come into the truth, and it's almost like, well, what about time for us? And it's like, okay, you did 30-something years, 40 years, 50 years, 20 years of nothing but living for the world. You had this time, but are you putting more time into the Most High now, into studying and dedicating yourself? Once again, it's going to be a sacrifice. So what are you willing to give up for the Most High, number one? And is there anything going to get in the way of you giving up and giving your spirit, your time, your mind, your dedication? So, you know, I was talking to a brother today, he, new brother that watches us, shout out to the brother Mac. You know, he was just saying, man, you know, I'm coming in, I'm learning this, and my rib is constantly trying to divert me. You know, and he's like, he just told me, he's like, listen, how is it that you're trying to stop me from serving the Creator? It's like, it don't make any sense. It's like, I'm not gonna stop. You can't get in my way of serving the Most High. And that's how I gotta be, is a lot of brothers let loved ones, family, friends, job, money, get in the way of what they have to do and give towards the Most High. Yeah.
You know in the story when Moses came down from the mountain,
right?
And they had the golden calf. After they had that golden calf,
right?
Remember, Moses commanded the people, get your sword and go. Get your family members. I know I'm butchering.
Right.
I said go. Get your family members.
Right.
Get your brother. Get your neighbor. Go ahead and slay them.
Right.
And you can see why. You can see why now. Like why Moses had that said, because they're the ones that push you to worship Molech. That's why he's like, listen, go ahead and get them. So now you can see why when Christ came back, he said, if you love mother, father, brother, sister more than me, you're not worthy.
Right.
Why? Because they will make you go and chase Molech.
Yeah.
Just like they did back in the day.
Yeah. It's
because we don't.
And you got to show and prove to the Most High that they don't mean more than Him.
Right.
He's a jealous power.
Right.
So where we at?
Genesis chapter 37, verse 28.
37 and 28. And they're passed by Midianites, merchants, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt.
Now, I know we jumped ahead, but this is pretty much when Joseph got sold into Egypt by the rest of his brothers.
And we've been over these. We've been over these points. You know what I mean? The stories, I should say.
Right.
So bringing out the points, a lot of these brothers and sisters that watch, they should already be in tune. And, you know, we're just digging into these points a little bit more and bringing out these focal points that brothers and sisters need to focus in on.
All right. Jump to Genesis chapter 45 and verse 4.
Genesis 45 and 4. So the second point that's being brought out is about Joseph.
Okay.
And what the Most High put him through.
Okay.
What position the Most High put him in. And you get this theme all the way through the scriptures dealing with the men of the Bible. You're going to be tempted. You're going to be tested. Your integrity, your mind state, your spirit, your dedication.
Right.
This is how it is. There's no, you know, I know we beat into your head, because if you prepare your mind, then all the temptation and all the things you're going to go through wouldn't be so hard of a burden on you.
Okay.
But the reason why it's hard of a burden on you is because you don't prepare. You don't set your mind aright and clear your mind and understand what you're finna go into. So, you know, you see from Abraham to Joseph, and I'm going to jump to 45 and what?
Genesis chapter 45, verse 4.
And Joseph said unto his brother, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt.
So, quick synopsis, I guess the word is. So, the brothers sold Joseph into slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Joseph became the king, well, second in command, right under Pharaoh, pretty much the king of Egypt. So, just showing you how the Most High, he put Joseph in this so-called messed up situation that we would think, but we don't know how the Most High is working.
Right.
We don't know how he's dealing and what he's maneuvering.
Right, and your title of your class is Unmovable.
Right.
Right, so we look at all these incidents where you would call negative.
Yeah.
You know, or that, you know, you're going through something negative. And a lot of brothers and sisters don't understand that It's the purpose of the Most High.
Okay.
You know, I always say it. One, you're either getting whooped for your past sins,
Yep.
because a lot of brothers and sisters come into the truth and then they forget about the things they did in the past. One, you're either getting whooped for your past sins or you're being tried. And you can't forget that. You can't think that, oh, I'm going to come in and everything I just did out in the world is going to go away. Nah, those past sins come around in repercussions, things you did wrong, things you moved out of wisdom and you made the wrong move. That comes to get you.
God. Absolutely.
That don't leave. And then, if it's not that, then the Most High is trying you. How much is this person really dedicated? So, you got to watch and sit back and understand how the Most High moves.
God.
And it won't be, you won't be moved by these different things if you're paying attention to these different men, righteous, wicked, your elders, your leaders. You'll see. Because even during this time, you got men that make the wrong moves.
God, absolutely.
You got brothers, man, among you. If you're dealing with a body of brothers, a school, you can see brothers and sisters come in. You know what I mean? They go through a little trial, tribulation, and they kick rocks quick.
God.
They're easily gone. Then you see the ones that stick in there and fight, that go through it. So, I'm going to read on. And Joseph said unto his brother, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For the Most High did send me before you to preserve life.
And that's it. The Most High is the one that's making all the chess moves. Literally. We're just the pieces. But this is the thing. We could choose to be pawns, or we could choose to go up to that level of being a king if we want.
That's just how your perspective on how you look at life and you look at things. One minute you can be flourishing and rejoicing, and the next minute you can be catching hell. But brothers and sisters don't see whether you are base or bound. You should still be joyous and understanding, man. I'm doing the Most High's will.
Okay.
That's life itself, and that's the trial of this life.
Okay.
Catching hell. That's the trial.
It's a condition of the battle.
Yeah. So.
Condition of the battle. Jump to verse 8.
Verse 8. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but the Most High, and he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and Lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt.
Now look at what Joseph got. Look at what Joseph got for him, for everything that he went through.
Right.
He never, just like Job, and we're going to touch that too. We're going to touch that too. Just like Job, Joseph never lost his integrity. He got sold into slavery as a 17-year-old young man. How many of us could handle that by our own brothers? Our own loved ones sold us into slavery. Our own brothers and sisters that's supposed to have the same knowledge and wisdom and understanding as I have. Our father is Isaac. No, I'm sorry. Our father is Jacob.
Right.
He been taught by Isaac, who's been taught by Abraham.
Right.
And my brothers have been taught by the same men, and they sold me into slavery.
Man,
as a 17.
Come on, let's be real. Brothers these days, those niggas is wicked.
God.
I'm going to be vindictive. When I see that nigga, I'm going to kill him.
Look how he treated them.
That's what you call, you use the right word, integrity. That's how you understand that the Most High will deal with everything.
God.
He will deal with everything, and a lot of times it's the Most High. I said this the other day in class. Me and the brother had a conversation about, if somebody had killed your child, and God forbid, the Most High don't want none. We don't want none of that part. But who did it?
It's the Most High.
You're gonna get angry at this person, but who removed the angels and the powers from protecting your child? It's deep. It's deep and it's strong and it's easier said than done. But that is the reality of it.
That makes me think, man, what was Jacob thinking when Joseph got sold?
Yeah. Well, remember they lied to him.
Yeah.
They lied to him. So he didn't know. He thought he died.
God.
You know, but yeah, see, these are the things, man. I like how you started this because it'll prepare a lot of you brothers and sisters, man, to be in the right mind. But you got to be humble. You have to be humble to the purpose, service, duty to the Creator. You got to be humble to understand you don't control jack.
God.
All you can control is your spirit and staying in the spirit in the middle of these battles.
Absolutely. So we're gonna jump to 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
So with the first brother that we touched Father Abraham, right?
Come.
And what Abraham showed us, the example that he showed us was how to have that sacrifice for the Most High. All the way up to the point where if you got to sacrifice your own child, listen, it's the Most High's will. If it's the Most High's will, let it be done.
Right.
All the way up until that point. Now we just hit Joseph, showing how, listen, if I gotta suffer wrongfully, let me suffer wrongfully for the Most High's will. Right. Or I think I'm suffering wrongfully because I don't understand as yet what is really going on.
Right.
Let me do it. Let me drink this cup. Let me drink this cup and see what the Most High is going to do. Let me examine the situation and let me see, am I suffering because of something that I did in the past or something that I'm doing now? Or is it just that the Most High has something in the works? Why? Because the Most High always has something in the works.
Right.
All the other examples that you read about in the scriptures.
Yep.
From all the other brethren. And now what we're going to hit is the courageous part. So we hit the sacrifice part, the suffering wrongfully part.
Uh-huh.
You're a pillar in both. You're unmovable in both.
Can we get that?
Okay.
That you know, it's just right what you quoted it, but I want to get it. You know, because once again, a lot of brothers and sisters don't look at the truth like this. You don't look. You think that you don't deserve anything. You know, I don't deserve to be treated like that. Hell yeah, you do. A lot of wickedness you done committed. You deserve to be smacked and beaten and charred. And we don't deserve all the gifts and glories that the Most High give us. You know? So, you know, and what that does too, it keeps you in a humble mind. It keeps brothers and sisters in a humble mind, humbling. You got it? A humbling spirit is 1 Peter's 2:19. Yeah.
1 Peter's chapter 2, verse 19.
Yeah.
For this is thankworthy, if a man for conscience toward Yahweh endure grief.
Right. So, you know, like I said, that's why we had to pull it, because it goes right with what you're pulling. Abraham had to endure grief.
Okay.
Joseph had to endure grief.
Okay.
Right? Now, remember, these men maintained their spirit, their integrity, their mind, their judgment, right? And they didn't know. We know that the Most High, obviously, Abraham knew. You know, he knew because the Most High sent and told him.
Yeah.
But Joseph didn't know. Afterwards, he's like, wow, now I understand why the Most High did this. So this is a learning process with Joseph through the time. You know, he didn't know when they treated him like that. No, wait a minute, this is the Lord's plan. He was like, what the heck? You can see in his spirit, he's like, these are my brothers. But after time, you see his spirit, his integrity still maintained. And he knew it was thankworthy to the Most High to endure grief.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Suffering wrongfully. Right.
That's the situation, suffering wrongfully. And a lot of times, brothers and sisters, it's saying that you don't understand what's going on. But the Most High got you going through it.
Yeah.
Then you got to go through it. You know, a lot of times that be the case. Because a lot of times brothers suffer for their wrong and don't want to suffer for that. And that's what the next point is going to make. Go ahead.
Verse 20. For what glory is it if, when ye be buffeted for your faults?
Yeah, see, when you be buffeted for your faults. Now, who is without sin? So, in essence, you're always at fault. Because you always deserve the hand of the Lord to smack you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it that way, you won't get high-minded and puffed up and think like, well, I'm such and such, and I don't deserve that. I got this, I did that. I've had a lot of brothers, and I tell y'all brothers and sisters all the time, there's been elders in the past that after they reach a certain level, they figured, oh, they don't have to go through trials and tribulation no more. That everything is riding smooth, and I don't have to go through tribulation. I already proved myself to the Most High. I'm gonna say that again. These are elders, and then what happens? This brother betrays them. His wife leaves. False accusations, and those brothers lose their mind. Why? Because they figure when I first came in, I went through that. When I was a trooper, I went through that. When I was an officer, I went through that. But now that I'm a general or a higher priest, I don't got to go through that. And I'll tell you like this. You got a rude awakening. You got a rude awakening, man. The Most High, Abraham, how old was he? Joseph, how long did he go through it? Job, how long? Just think about it. That's not the right mind state. What the right mind state is to understand the will of the Most High and to keep righteousness in your spirit, your soul, your mind. That way it can guide you through your battles in life and you will be unmovable. See, that's what it's about. But go ahead, read on.
Ye shall take it patiently.
Right. See, ideally, when you go through something and do something wrong, you take it patiently, ideally. And I say ideally because that ain't the case with Israel. Israel will never want to admit they're wrong. You can't just say, you know what, yeah, I'm wrong, let me take the punishment patiently. Israel is always trying to get out of it. So ideally he's saying, you know, when you do something wrong, ideally you take it patiently, right? Go ahead.
But if when ye do well and suffer for it,
right,
ye take it patiently,
right,
this is acceptable with Yahweh.
That's what the Most High wants. The Most High wants the integrity of Joseph, the integrity of Job, the integrity of Abraham. It wasn't they were righteous because, oh, they were getting blessed.
Yeah. I'm
righteous because I'm good. I got my house, my family, my car, this my muse, my animals, and I'm growing in riches. Now I'm righteous. But when I catch hell, curse the Most High and you die. You know what I mean? Like Job's rib told him. These are the things that we got to pay attention to. The Most High said it's acceptable to suffer wrongfully. That's what he wants. So when you're doing something, you do something wrong, bro, you're not catching it for Christ. I hate that. I hate it because, you know, I'm that way too. Like, if I did something wrong, I got to check it. I got to admit to it. Okay, I did it wrong. You know what? Let me fix that. Let me move on, right?
Absolutely.
Israel, man, you do something wrong, man. You swear you don't deserve punishment. You don't deserve a check. You don't deserve correction. That's a wicked mind state. The Most High wants you to suffer for your faults because you were wrong. And he not only wants that, he wants you to suffer when you think you don't supposed to suffer.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Go ahead, read on.
Verse 21. For even hereunto were ye called.
There you go. That's what you were called for. Go ahead.
Because Christ also suffered for us.
Right?
Leaving us an example.
The example was you suffer for your brother, your nation. and it might not always be. It'd be a bad situation. People will lie on you at times.
Yeah.
People treat you wrong. You'll be like we talk about all the time. You'll feed them. You'll clothe them, and then they'll still badmouth you. It's like they're trying to find something negative, you know. But that's, you know, that's what you got to go through. Go ahead.
That ye should follow his steps.
Go ahead.
Who did no sin.
Neither
was guile found in his mouth.
There you go. So, yeah, that's it on that. I like that part too. He did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth.
Yeah.
When he was on the cross, he didn't curse Israel out. When he was getting whooped, he didn't curse them out. He knew he was suffering for the Most High. Yeah.
No murmuring, no complaining,
no
backbiting, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all you niggas.
None of that.
None of that. He knew, you know what? This is what I gotta go through for the Most High. The Most High is putting me through this.
Kind.
Yeah.
You know, I even look at just with the two brothers that we hit, Abraham and Joseph, same thing. Nothing, no complaining, no half stepping.
Yep.
They just went with it.
Yes, sir.
All right, so now we're gonna hit David. We're gonna hit David. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 26.
1 Samuel 17 and 26. And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, What shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living power?
Nice. Now we're going to jump to, that's actually it. We're going to jump to Job chapter 2, verse 9. And this is the thing. Look at how David, as a young man, stood up when you have a whole military of mighty men, of mighty Israelite men that would not stand up for our nation. But David is the one, David is the one that stood up for us as a young child. Think of the courage that he has. But he wasn't doing it for himself. He wasn't doing it for no vainglory. Listen to what he said. Who is going to take away this reproach from Israel?
Right.
He did it for his people. He was courageous for his people. He stood. He became that pillar for his own nation. And that's what we have to be. We have to have that long suffering like Joseph did. We have to have that sacrifice like Abraham did. And we also have to have that courage like David did. But not for ourselves. We got to be long suffering for our nation. We got to be courageous for our nation. Just like Abraham, we got to be able to sacrifice for our nation as well.
Yeah, you don't understand the things you go through. The things as you become a Hebrew Israelite more and more, and cleansing yourself more and more, and putting off the old man more and more. You're going to battle. You're going to battle with things around you. But how do you stay and increase in righteousness? How do you keep strong instead of being broke down? It's funny, man. We got a lot of the sisters are sewing, you know, and we got a few different events that's going on. But a lot of brothers and sisters need this class, man, because they forget. A lot of brothers and sisters forget, man, that what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Yeah.
They thinking I don't have to maintain my strength or spirit, and I get sad. I'm a sad puppy. I hate life. Instead of rejoicing in the will of the Most High.
You lose that focus, man. You forget why you're doing it. You forget why you're called.
Yeah. And
that's why you get so sad and you get depressed, and that anxiety comes around is because you lost your purpose. It's like if you were made, this is a bad analogy, but if you were made to be a table, but you're not being used as a table, what use is it? It's like the scripture says, if the salt lost its savor, what is it's just made to be trodden underfoot, thrown out.
Yeah.
So when we lose that zeal and we lose that fire for the Most High's work, oh man, no wonder the depression and the anxiety and the sadness and the sad puppy and the woes me. No wonder all that comes in, because you take your eye off the swivel.
Yeah.
You were made for it. you were ordained from before you were born to do this, and you're not doing it. So of course you're gonna feel a certain type of way.
Yep.
But man, I want to hit this Esther right here, man.
Okay.
Esther 4. I didn't have it in there.
Okay.
But just on this point, it's Esther chapter 4, verse 13 and 14. Just on the point of David, to show how David was courageous to stand up for our nation, to deliver our nation. But there's a scripture right here in Esther showing how Esther was courageous as well. But it was something that was said that all of us got to remember as well.
Esther 4 verse 13. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews.
So some of us, yeah, man, we know about the knowledge, but we have everything good. You know what I'm saying? We got the house, we got the cars, our family's intact, our wife obeys us, our kids are in order, but our nation is suffering. So who's gonna help to remove this reproach from our nation? Who's gonna be courageous like David and be a sacrifice like Abraham and be long suffering like Joseph? Who's gonna be willing to do that, to endure that for the nation? Verse 14.
Verse 14. For thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time.
If you don't want to do it, read.
Then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place.
Listen, we're gonna get delivered regardless. You can decide if you want to jump up and do all the works and help to take away that reproach, if you want to. But if not, it's gonna come from another place.
Right.
But this is what's gonna happen to you if you don't choose to do that.
This is cold. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed.
Yeah, your house and your father's house.
And
gone.
oh,
Y'all will be destroyed.
oh,
Why? Because you're that wicked and slothful servant. You buried your talent.
that's cold right there.
You don't want to stand up for your nation.
Yeah.
It's like I met this brother recently, the other day, and he was like, "Man, I don't do that camp stuff." I was like, "What do you mean?" No, you're not gonna come and talk down on camps. You're not gonna do that. What are you doing? You're not doing anything for your nation. You're just sitting on your butt and you're learning from other men that are in camps that sacrificed, that did all this work so that you can learn.
Right.
But you don't want to be involved with the camp. It's okay if you don't want to be involved with a camp, fine, but don't badmouth camps because they're doing more than you.
Right. No, you hit it right. First of all, you shouldn't badmouth. The synonym for a camp is unity. The synonym for camp, and bear with me on this as far as when I'm saying synonym, you know, when you think of camp, you think of unity, gathering together, church. So that logic itself don't make no sense. Then all these brothers, once again, if our elders in the past said, you know what, nah, I ain't doing that,
Where would we be?
where would we be? If everybody did like these lazy monkeys, you know what I mean, what would we be doing? You know what I mean? Israel would be divided. There would not be no schools because those old men that sacrificed family, time, all the things in life to give the word, we wouldn't have it. What about all these brothers traveling throughout the world? Well, look at all these schools. Imagine all these schools if we weren't doing nothing in unity. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, that it's those individuals that ain't doing the work. That's why he said I gave them a talent and they buried it.
All right.
So, yeah, no, don't let them badmouth it. But you came with it. You came to him correct and showed him, what are you doing? Yeah. So, verse 14. For if thou altogether hold thy peace at this time, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed. And who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
And this is the thing, man. We all gotta examine the certain situation that we're in and the time that we're in. Because remember, the scripture says, redeeming the time because the time is evil.
Damn.
So we got to understand why the Most High has us in this place at this time. We got to see what the Most High is really doing. We got to try to, how do I say this? We got to try to put away the carnal mind and the carnal thinking and the selfish mind with the thoughts that come with the old man and understand what the Most High is doing. Because we're playing checkers, he's playing chess. When it says, and who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
Right.
We got to really ask ourselves, man, why am I here?
Right. Like, what time are we in?
God.
Yeah.
Why am I going through this?
That's why Ezekiel called them the dry bones. You know, Paul, he said, we are not of those that are asleep.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. Oh. Where we at?
Job chapter 2, verse 9.
Go ahead, Lamont.
We're going to read verse 9 and 10. This is one thing that we got to remember when dealing with the Most High. Job chapter 2, verse 9 and 10. And man, if you want an example of long suffering, man, Job is a big one too. Look at what the Most High put Job through. Read verse 9.
Job chapter 2, verse 9.
Go ahead.
Then said his wife unto him, doest thou still retain thine integrity?
Of course we still gonna retain our integrity. Of course. Read.
Curse God and die.
No. We will not curse the Most High and die. We're gonna follow the same example that Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, all our patriarchs. We're going to follow their examples. As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord.
God.
Read.
But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaking.
Yeah, you're speaking like Jezebel right now. You're speaking like Beyonce right now, like Oprah.
God.
Like Hillary Clinton. Read.
What shall we receive good at the hands of God?
Yeah, we love when we receive good from the Most High.
Right.
Oh man, I just had a baby. Oh man, we love that. I just got a new car. Oh, I just got a new TV. I just got the new PS4. We love it. We love it when we receive the carnal blessings. Or we love it when we get praised. When we get praised, oh man, you're good at this. Oh man, you're good at that. Some of us love being praised. Read.
And shall we not receive evil?
Read that again.
And shall we not receive evil?
And shall we not receive evil? I mean, we receive good, so we're going to receive evil as well. Read.
In all this, did not Job sin with his lips?
And that's that's the example that we have to take from Job. Because Job went through it, man. Money, land, family, health, wife, all gone. But through all that, Job did not sin. Job did not lose his integrity. Because Job understood who was putting him through it. Job understood why he was going through it.
God.
Yeah, let me grab this one, throw this one in here. Go to oh man, there's so much in here. Go to 20. Ecclesiastes 11 and 20.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 20.
Go ahead.
Be steadfast in thy covenant.
Right. Be steadfast in the covenant. You know, we got to understand, man. We got to be steadfast. Did I jump?
That's
right. The scriptures say, be steadfast in the covenant. You know, you got brothers and sisters that are too wavering. You know what I mean? I know we're going to go into this as we get down a little more. But it's too much double-mindedness. It's too much, I'm here, I'm there. It's too much, I'm not sure. It's too much doubt. And, you know, as I was talking to the other brother from Chicago, I was just showing him, like, you got to be patient with the Most High.
Okay.
Because the Most High don't deal on your time. He deals with longevity. He proves you. And proving you might take 6 to a year to 2 years to some people.
Yeah.
He proves you. So you got to be consistent. He wants to see if you're going to be steadfast in that contract. Go ahead.
And be conversant therein.
Go ahead.
And wax old in thy work.
He said, wax old in your work. Brothers don't want to do that. They don't want to wax old in their work. They want to do like America. Well, I had plan B, C, D. It's like, yeah, if this don't work out. That's not how this is. What we're doing, you can't put this in a worldly mind state. Like I got plan B when the Israelite thing don't work out. You were born a Hebrew Israelite. You just found out. You've been an heir to the kingdom. You know, it's like those kids, man. They got their parents died and they didn't know they was heirs to all this riches and wealth. You've been an heir. You have to be steadfast in these works to receive those gifts. And a lot of times, bro, it takes till you getting old when these gray hairs start popping up. You got to get old doing this. You got to love it. You got to dedicate yourself. This ain't about a fad. This ain't about, oh, it's everybody's on this Israelite thing. This is an awakening. But the only way you're going to be consistent is being steadfast. Go ahead.
Marvel not at the works of sinners.
Yeah, you can't worry about everybody else. You can't worry about people around you. You can't worry about the doubters, the unbelievers, the double-minded. You can't worry about them. It says, marvel not at the works of sinners. You can't worry about the success of the wicked. We've been over that many times. Ecclesiastes 37, Psalms 37, Psalm 73.
Yeah.
We've been over that. You can't worry about that. Go ahead.
But trust in the Lord.
Go ahead.
And abide in thy labor.
And abide in your work. Are you going to continue doing the work of the Most High? Consistent, delivering with a sincere, meek, humble mind. Because I guarantee you, man, if you don't sit down, well, you should do this one day. All these things going on, you know what you should do? Sit back and imagine the Creator coming with hundreds of thousands of angels. That's what you should be imagining in your mind. Just sit back and think of all the angels coming through to the physical realm, from the spiritual realm, and all you see is darkness. And all you hear is just a quietness. And then quietness, and then death, screaming, like in Egypt. You see the angels moving like sparks. Bro, it's every time I think about that, you be like, dang, Yahweh, please keep me sincere. Cats don't think about that. They be thinking about, you know what I mean, what I got to do the next day, what I got to get paid, what I got to make my woman happy, what I got to make my man happy. My kids need this. Y'all better be thinking about the fear of the Lord. Forget about the things of the world, man. You got to put things in perspective. This is about saving your soul. So that's why we labor. That's why we're unmovable. I don't give a damn who said it. I don't care what fad come up, what doctrine they coming in trying to throw in to confuse. Bro, that don't mean nothing. I lasted almost 30 years in this truth because I didn't care about none of that. I stuck to what the scriptures say. The basics, the simplicity is in Christ. And now from 16 years old till 30, finna be 34 or whatever. Finna be 34. I've lasted that long. All praises to the Most High. That nothing veered my mind to pervert me, to take me out of the mission, the commitment, the dedication. Because there's many ways to do it. He could have. I see brothers go off and say, you know what? I'm still in the truth. I just ain't there with y'all. But you ain't doing the works of the Most High. Oh, I'm still in the truth. I'm over here with my family, my household, my kids, and my money, and just working my job. But I'm keeping the Sabbath. I'm not eating pork. There's more than that. Christ said it himself. And that's how they make it simple, right? You know, I'm doing the truth too. I celebrate the Sabbath. Bro, okay, you're doing the law, but what is the works of Christ? You see, it's easy, but it's hard to keep continually being consistent to your old man. But I'll tell you this. To see my children come up with wisdom, with the knowledge of the Most High, with the understanding. They're not perfect. We're none of us perfect. But to see them raised up and not have to worry about their father smoking blunts, getting high, drunk, beating his wife. You know what I mean? They don't have to worry about that. Now if they go off, that's on them. You know, that's what I always hit them on. You know what I mean? Like, listen, you ain't got no abusive parents. So all that spoiledness got to go. So how do we continue labor? That's the question, right? How do we constantly do this work without going back into the vomit? Well, we got to look at our forefathers. We got to look at Abraham, Joseph, Job. Y'all see this? Go ahead.
For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich.
Yeah, you see that? You know why he threw that in there? He's talking about labor in the covenant, but then he throws riches in there because that's the first problem with Israel. It's like, well, how am I going to eat? How am I going to get paid? How am I going to do this? It's like, it's nothing for the Most High to say, here, take that.
He clothed the flowers of the field.
Right.
How much shall he not rather clothe you? Right.
So, but it's like you're talking about the covenant, you're talking about working and be conversant in the word until you're old. Well, why you threw money in there? Because that's how Israel thinks. They're like, yeah, how am I going to get paid? Yeah, I'm going to do this Bible thing, but nigga, my bills need to be paid. The Most High is going to handle that. He ain't going to leave you without a job. He ain't going to leave you comfortless. But all you got to do is put your spirit into Him. Follow these commandments. Change the inward man, right, to the spiritual man. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, read on.
Verse 22.
The
blessings of the Lord is the reward of the godly.
But who's going to get those blessings? You scrambling and you want all these things. I want a righteous rib. Well, do the work. I want a righteous rib. The blessings come in the work. The blessing comes in the dedication, the commitment to win. It says to old age. We read it earlier up there. It says, where is it at?
Verse 20.
20. Be steadfast in the covenant and be conversant therein and wax old in thy work. The Most High, He'll bless you with those things. A lot of times when you're young, you don't get the blessings because you're too lazy-minded. You're too quick to give up on the Most High. You lack diligence. You lack the courage of David. You lack the courage of Abraham. You lack the consistency of Joseph. And what happens? Well, it just ain't coming through because you've never been consistent. You've never been consistent. You ain't never going to get nothing from the Most High. He don't deal with double-minded, wavering people. Go ahead, read.
And suddenly he maketh his blessings to flourish.
And suddenly he maketh his blessings to flourish. And that comes to consistent. When you're consistent, diligent, then next you know, this comes through. That comes through. It's like you want everything so quick and you do it wrong. You get the disobedient rib. You get the family, the household, they'll get you. Right? Why? Because you want it your way. The Most High won't bless you. But if you're patient and long-suffering and commit your works to the Lord, then what does He do? He starts adding to you. He knows you need the carnal things.
Yeah.
But if that's the first thing on your mind, you're not showing the Most High the importance of Him. He's going to bless us with these. Go ahead.
Say not, what profit is there of my service?
Yeah. Well, bro, I've been doing this. I've been doing this. Yeah, but what you been doing it for? You've been doing it not really committed. You've been doing it double-minded. You've been doing it lacking faith. Right? That's why Israel never get nothing. I just wanted a rib. I told y'all the story about the one brother that I taught, and all he wanted was his wife back. She left him. He was like, I was working with brothers. We street speak, pass out flyers. I just want my wife back. I told him, I said, the Most High don't want you to have that woman. Who are you? He was pissed. He was angry. Many years he resented the Most High because he wanted some and he didn't get it. And he didn't understand that if it's the Lord's will, everything you've been going to, Joseph, it was the Lord's will to throw him in that ditch. Yeah. Abraham, it was the Lord's will for him to go sacrifice his son. Right? It was the Lord's will. It's like, I can't go get your rib and make her your rib. The Most High controls all that. But what he didn't get is the Most High is controlling this. He's thinking, if I do it carnally, I'm going to do the street speaking, do the flyers, do the cable show, do the radio show. We did all that. And then, okay, all right, where's my rib, Yahweh? He's like, I see why you're doing this. He's like, I see why you're doing this. You're doing it for it says, you either do it through constraint, not willingly, right, or filthy lucre. Because he told us and commanded us, don't do it for that. He said, don't do it through constraint. Somebody's forcing you. Don't do it through filthy lucre, right, or somebody cheerleading you. And he just didn't get that. And how many brothers come in and don't understand that? You got to be dedicated to the Most High. These blessings will come. Go ahead.
And what good things shall I have hereafter?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Again, say not, I have enough. And possess many things.
Yeah. Then you get caught up in all your possessions. That's another one. You get caught up in. These are the things. What the title of the class is, Unmovable. Well, these are the things that get people wavering. Why? Because they want to look, they want to have, and you don't know who to get it from. The Most High is the one that blesses us, man. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Why did He take away? You come to terms with that, you can settle your mind. You know what I mean? You're not always catching hell for Christ. Oh, I'm catching hell for Christ. No, you catch hell because you didn't use wisdom in this situation. You're not catching, the officer pulled me out the car. He was belligerent. Well, how did you, what were you telling him? Well, I didn't have to raise down the window. Nah, you didn't use wisdom. You got hit upside your damn head because you ain't got no brains. It says, agree with thine adversary quickly when thou beest in the way. But you did what? Officer, I know my rights. I don't have to roll down the window. Okay, that's why you got messed up. Oh, man, my rear won't get in order. It's like, why she won't get in order? I don't know. Then your ribs talking about, yeah, he always calls me the B word. He tells me I ain't nothing. He tells me I'm disgusting. You don't tell us that part. That's what brothers do. Now I understand why you don't want to counsel. Why? Because then the rib is going to be telling all the stuff that you're really doing, and you don't want to what? Be revealed. But that's fine. Because you'll see. Your blessings won't flourish because you're not consistent in the covenant. You're not conversant in the commandments. Go ahead.
And what evil can come to me hereafter. Right,
and you got to be careful with that. When you do get blessings, like I said, you got the elders that get blessings, grow, and then they're like, oh, I'm untouchable. No, the Most High can take, He can give, He takes it away. He humbles you. It don't matter whether you King David or King David's doorman. He can humble you. Go ahead, read.
In the day of prosperity.
And this is the point I wanted to get to. Because the whole chapter's cold. We're in Ecclesiastes 11 and what?
11 verse 25.
Right. In the day of what?
In the day of prosperity,
Go ahead.
there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
It says in the day of prosperity, there is what?
A forgetfulness of affliction.
And that's what you gotta watch. Read it again for them.
In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
The water, sir. In the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction. You get blessed, your house get good, you get the new whip, you know, you get the brand new baby, you know what I mean? You get the brand new this, that, right? And then you ain't facing the east as much. You're second questioning the work of the Most High now. You forgetting how you got your blessings. This is the problem with a lot of Israelites. And if you're a wise man, if you're a wise woman, you will look out for that in you. You will look out for that spirit. Go ahead.
And in the day of affliction, there is no remembrance of prosperity.
See, they forget the Most High. What is it showing you here? You forgot the Most High controls both. You forgot the Most. Job didn't forget that the Most High was in control through the affliction. He said, "The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away." Right? There wasn't no forgetfulness with Job. There was no forgetfulness with Joseph, or Abraham, or Isaac, or Jacob, or David, or whatever righteous king. There was no forgetfulness. See, and we can't forget. Go ahead.
All right. Give me.
It goes down.
Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 37, verse 27. Ecclesiastes chapter 37, verse 27. And just on that point as well, to show, you know, in the time of affliction, we forget about the times when we were prospering, right? There's one thing that we got to remember as well going into it. Go ahead, read it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 37, verse 27. My son, prove thy soul and thy life.
Go ahead.
And see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it.
Because a lot of times, man, we do get these blessings from the Most High, and sometimes those same blessings can become a hindrance. It's like, oh man, I didn't have a TV. Now I have a TV. What am I doing with the TV? Am I spending more time with the TV than with the books?
Right.
I didn't have a reel. Well, now I have a reel. Well, what am I doing with the reel? Is the reel that blessing now, or is she becoming that hindrance?
Right.
That curse? Is she making me movable? Am I not as firm as I once was? Now when the things are hitting me, you know, when the things are hitting me, I'm not as studied, I'm not as studious as I used to be.
Right.
I'm not communicating like I used to be. Why? Because I'm communicating with her more now than I used to with the brothers. I'm not communicating with the scriptures like I used to. So those things can now become that hindrance onto us. Go ahead, read from the top actually.
My son, prove thy soul and thy life.
And this one thing, man, we really gotta prove ourselves. We gotta examine ourselves like the scripture says. Examine ourselves before we found the truth and see, man, what kind of man was I? What kind of woman was I? You know how many, think about it, since now that you know about the truth, how many times do you have these memories of things that you did in the world and you're like, damn, I did that. Or damn, I said that. How many times does that happen to you now that you're in the truth where you're like, damn, I can't believe I did that. And it's like you just want that memory to go away. You wish that you never did it. You wish that you never said it. This is what the scripture is about, man. It says to prove your soul. We got to look and examine ourselves before we found the truth. And now that we have the truth, we have to do it even more and really examine ourselves and see how we are. Why are we like this? Why am I stubborn? Why am I prideful? Why do I have no humility? Why am I slothful? How come I don't like to listen? How come I don't like to counsel? How come I'm so rejecting of everything? Everything that comes through counsel, through the wisdom of the brothers and sisters, how come I'm so quick to reject it? Quick to reject the unity? anything that we're about to endeavor on, oh man, we gotta do that. Oh man, we gotta do drilling. Oh man, we gotta do fires. How come we really gotta examine ourselves, man, and see like what made us the way that we are right now, to where we're not dependable. We're not dependable like we should be. In life, before the truth, or now even in the truth, some of us are still not dependable like we should be. And it's because we don't prove ourselves, read?
And see what is evil for it.
We're not actually looking at ourselves and seeing, man, what is my hindrance? What is my hiccup? What is my stumbling block?
Yep.
What is causing me to trip? What is causing me to slip?
You can be told, certain brothers, certain sisters are told 1,000 times.
Right.
But those are the ones that's going to constantly be punished, tormented.
Right.
That you just sit back and look at them. We look at them, we're like, we done told you 1,000 times, bro. You're suffering because you don't want to listen. And in his mind, he's like, I don't see it that way. But you don't see your suffering? It's like you don't see your suffering and going through pain. But it's like, you can't do nothing really.
Right.
All you can do is give brothers, sisters the wisdom, and they got to make the choice and the decision.
Right.
You know, but you would think a person would say, well, damn, something's wrong. You know, like the class Quatazat went over. My wife's wicked, my wife's wicked, my children are wicked. That class he went over. Like, you should say, damn, there's something wrong. But what's happening is you keep going back to your vomit and you keep being wavering and moved. I know the class is being unmovable, but we got to touch on that other side also. You know, because that's why nothing's stable, because your mind is not stable.
All right. You jump to Matthew chapter 26, verse 39. Actually, Matt's hold that. Hold that, Ecclesiastes. Yeah, Matthew chapter 26, verse 39. And then Matt's actually read that Ecclesiastes 37, verse 27 again.
My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it.
Yeah, we got to see what's evil for our soul. Read.
And give not that unto it.
And we have to stop giving ourselves over to that which is hindering us, which is making us stumble. And, you know, sometimes the Most High, I'm not going to say sometimes, because we all have this. We all have something that we have in the truth that we have to battle, that we have to deal with, that we have to overcome. And that's why it's important to read it from the top.
My son, prove thy soul in thy life.
And those things that we have to battle, we have to prove our soul. Read.
And see what is evil for it.
And see what's going to help us to overcome the battle, to win the battle. Read.
And give not that unto it.
Because the things that's going to help us to overcome the battle, we have to give ourselves to that. Yeah. And the things that's going to hinder us, that's going to make us fall during this battle,
we got to leave it alone.
We got to leave it alone. Because guess what? We all have a cup. Every single one of us has a cup. Read your Matthews.
Matthew chapter 27, 26, verse 39.
Go ahead.
And he went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible.
So this is Christ. This is right before Christ was about to be crucified. And he doesn't want to go through it. He's saying, he's praying to Yahweh. Oh my Father, if it be possible, read.
Let this cup pass from me.
Read.
Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt.
Because this is the thing. We all have a cup. And we all would say this prayer sometimes, like, oh man, Yahweh, just let me not have to deal with that. Just let me not have to deal with that.
Right.
Let me not have to go through that.
Right.
I don't want to be there, Yahweh. Just
Look,
he's good at it. Just let him do it. She's good at it. Just let her do it. I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn how to do it. I don't want to. That's not for me.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say this again. First, let me say this. Well, you understand what he said about Yahweh Shai not wanting to go through it, right?
God.
What did he mean by that?
As far as like that suffering that he was going through at that moment, he was saying, well, if I don't have to take this suffering or this pain, remove it from me.
Right.
But if it's your will, then I'll ride it out.
Perfectly said. Yeah. Right. Now the other part is that this is Yahweh Shai. He didn't do nothing wrong. I'm gonna say it again. Y'all, us, we do things in our life, and we pay for the repercussions of that. You understand? So you gotta separate. Oh, you're suffering for the Most High. No, you're suffering because you moved out of the spirit. You made the wrong decision. You made the wrong choices. It's funny as hell to me because Israel don't look at it like that. You really think you doing something right. No, you keep making the wrong choices, so that wickedness keeps haunting you. You understand?
Oh yeah.
You're not suffering because you stopped eating pork. All that stuff is coming right back to you. Then your mind in the truth not changing, what are you doing? When you say you're a Hebrew Israelite, you follow the laws and commandments, right? And you're still doing wicked stuff, chaotic niggerism, right? Then what are you saying to the Most High? The truth don't work for me.
Do what I want to do.
I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to keep thinking like this. I'm going to keep being like this. So you're not suffering for the truth. You're suffering because you're against the truth. And you're trying to keep and hold on to the old ways and the old mind. So it's like, y'all know, we talk to you all the time. Y'all got to let that mind go. That's what the scripture says. You got to let those mind states go, or else you're going to, what you did is drag your chaotic, weak, niggerish, worldly mentality, came to the truth, put a head wrap on, put a dress on, put fringes on, you know what I mean? And then said, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. That's not a Hebrew Israelite. We're supposed to be casting off the works of darkness. You understand that? So when did you become a Hebrew Israelite?
When your mindset changed.
Right. When your mindset changed, or rather what? When you gave in. You see, because it's not that your mind, oh, it got to change this quick. Because we know that. Quick. No. It's that did you give in and say, damn, I'm off. I'm wrong. This mind state, this thought process. Yeah. And that's going back to what he was saying. A lot of brothers and sisters don't realize that you are bringing this on yourself. A lot of things. Christ, on the other hand, he fought for righteousness.
Yeah.
So you can't be like, Yahweh, let this cup pass from me. Nigga, you brought it on yourself.
Yeah.
Thine own wickedness shall correct you. Y'all understand that? You want that to stop? Then you got to please the Most High. You understand? They screaming next door. Or something.
That wasn't even like a good screen.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was like that screen.
They're like sacrifice, like there's a cars back there sacrificing their children or something. Alright, but go ahead, let's jump back.
We jump to verse 42.
Verse 42.
Go ahead.
He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done.
And that's what a lot of us got to come to the realization of, man.
Yeah.
A lot of us, we're just not going to grow unless we actually submit ourselves to the Most High, to the method, to everything that the Most High has laid out. We have to. That's the cup that we have to drink. You know what? If I got to come to class on time, that's the cup, right then and there. If I got to put away certain negative attributes that I have in my spirit, that's the cup. It's not going to pass. It's the Most High's will. You have to drink it. You got to actually put forth the effort. You got to actually put forth the effort, man, and get past it. But that's why we got to prove our soul too. We got to see what is beneficial for us and what's the stumbling block. What's going to help us to reach the next level? What's going to help us to take the next step? What's going to help us to multiply our talents? It's just like what Kazato's saying, man, about, you got to really think about what he's saying, man. These chariots start coming. People start screaming like how they were screaming just now. And you haven't multiplied your talent. You haven't done what you needed to do. You didn't drink the cup. And you're looking up like, oh man, it's too late. It's too late for me to put away pride. It's too late for me to have charity.
Right.
For me to be selfish. It's too late now for me to put away the selfishness, the negative fruits of the spirit. I'm not clothed in righteousness. I'm not clothed in the covering that the Most High wants me to be clothed in.
Yep.
So I look up and it's like, it's too late. And it's like, man. So the scripture says that your own mind condemns you. You already know. You pretty much already know, like, man, I ain't make it. And that's what we don't want to go through, man. Like, we think about it, man. The scripture says, depart from me, thou wicked and slothful servant. I never knew you. Wicked and slothful servant. What does that mean? We're lazy. We were too lazy to put away the things that we needed to put away.
Right.
We didn't think it was important. We don't see how that affected us. Well, if I'm slothful, I'm just hurting myself. I'm hurting myself in my household. No, you're hurting your nation. If I'm not sober, that's hurting me. Nah, you're hurting your nation. If I got pride built up, if I got anger built up, if I'm always backbiting, complaining, murmuring, that's only hurting me. No, that's hurting your nation. Yeah. That's hurting the next man. So those things, man, it has to be put away. We have to drink that cup. And what's the cup for us? The cup for us is for us to kill the old man. His thought process, his ways, all those things, it has to be killed so that we could be fortified. Jump to 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 7. And it says, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. It's the Most High's will, man. We're doing this for the Most High. We're doing it for our nation. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 7. Go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 7. And least I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations.
See, some of us, we get exalted. We know about the truth. We learn we're Israelites. We're kings and queens and priests. We start to get exalted in our minds. We feel like we're untouchable. You can't tell me nothing. I don't got to show up for nothing. I'm an old man. I don't got to take counsel from you. I'm in my 30s and 40s, my 50s. I don't got to listen to you. I don't got to take counsel from you. I can learn myself. We get exalted. Why? Because we start learning. Like it says, like the scripture says, knowledge puffeth up. So we get puffed up, man. We get exalted. Read.
There was given to me a thorn in my flesh.
But see, this is speaking of Paul. The Most High gave Paul a thorn in his flesh. See, we have that thorn as well. We all have that thorn. Just like Christ had the cup, we have that thorn as well that keeps us humble. We're not going to be great at everything that we do. We're all going to have hiccups. We're all going to have something that makes us weak. Something that we're not as great at. But that's the good thing about being in a body, and having multiple brothers and sisters around you. Because something that you're weak at, they're strong at. And they can show you how to be strong in that thing that you're weak at, and vice versa. But we all have that thorn in our flesh. Read.
The messenger of Satan to buffet me.
Read.
Lest I should be exalted above measure.
Yeah, and we all have to have that. Because then what's going to happen if we don't? You can't tell me nothing. We're going to get so damn exalted, we're going to be like Kanye West. You can't tell that man nothing. We're going to feel like we literally Christ in the flesh. Like we literally God in the flesh. So we all have that thorn that's in us that keeps us humble. We all have that weakness. We come in, we examine ourselves, and it's like, oh man, I'm weak at that. This brother's good at that, this sister's good at that, but I'm weak at it. I might not be a good speaker. I might not be a good reader. I might not be a good brother. I might not know how to be unified, how to show care and love and compassion. I might not know those things. That's the thorn for that moment. But just like if you have a thorn, if I had a thorn right here, do I just let it stay? Or not? Do I try to heal it? That member of my flesh, if I have a thorn in my arm is hurting. There's something wrong with it. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna pull the thorn out, then I'm gonna try to clean it up. I'm gonna pay more attention to it. And this is the thing, man, we don't pay attention to our thorns. The things that's our hiccups, we don't pay attention to it. We don't say, man, let me study. If I have pride, let me look up every scripture on pride.
Right.
Let me try to watch every class on pride. Let me try to make a class on pride. Let me try to get counsel on pride. Let me literally attack pride. Just like if your arm had a thorn in it, a really big thorn, or you got stabbed in the arm, the arm will get all the care. You'll pull the knife out, you'll wipe the blood, you'll put some alcohol on it. You will take care of that thorn. A lot of us, we don't take care of our thorns, man. We don't. If I'm slothful, I'm not making things to make me not slothful. We don't. If I don't study enough, I'm not making provisions to make myself study enough. To make myself get in the book more and to grow. We're not actually looking at ourselves and saying, man, what's the next step? What's the next step for me to grow and to become better? So that my talent can be multiplied. So when Christ comes, he's like, well done. Well done, thy faithful servant. A lot of us, man, we're not doing that, but we have to. We have to, because that same thorn is going to make us double-minded. It's going to make us wishy-washy. It's going to make us weak.
Yep.
Why? Because it's a thorn. So it's hurting. It's weak. When it's time for you to use that arm can't function as well as it needs to. There's something wrong with it. So yeah, we all have that thorn. Read on.
For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me.
Read.
And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee.
So yeah, a lot of us, man, with our shortcomings, we wish that we could we pray to the Most High. Yahweh, make me not slothful. Yahweh, make me not greedy. Make me not lustful. We pray to the Most High. But when the Most High says his grace is more sufficient for us. So what does that mean? He's given us, what is grace?
Mercy.
It's mercy. But what is it to? A time period. So the Most High gave us what? Grace. A time period for us to work on it. He gave us that time period for us to get better. All right, so if I'm not good at this, then if I'm not energetic, if I'm not lively, well, the Most High gave us grace. He gave you time to get there. And guess what? He gave you all the tools, all the brethren, all the sisters.
We were talking about it at Sabbath class about godly sorrow.
God.
About godly sorrow and a work of repentance unto salvation. Same thing, what you're bringing out now is that the Most High is giving you like what excuse are you going to have?
Yeah.
So the point of the class is about being unmovable. Well, this is how you're unmovable. Taking the things that's set before you and using them to strengthen you during this time.
Right.
Taking advantage of the utilities that Yahushua has given you. Most of all, you just said it. He's given you mercy and grace.
Right.
So he hasn't condemned you. He hasn't killed you. So there's no reason to wallow in your mire or to beat yourself up.
Yeah.
Get up, use the tools, and keep moving forward. Wax, what did it say? I like that scripture. Wax old in thy work.
Yeah.
Wax old in thy work.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
God, for my strength is made perfect in weakness.
For my what?
For my strength is made perfect in weakness.
One more time, brother.
For my strength is made perfect in weakness.
Yeah, man, because that that weakness now becomes a strength. How is your strength made perfect in weakness? How, really think about it. How is your strength made perfect in weakness? It's weak because it's not a strength. You can't make strength. Like if your arm is already strong, if you could already lift 140 pounds, you can lift 140 pounds. You know you can do it. But if you can only squat 140 pounds and you want to get to 200, then right now that 140 pounds is considered weak to you. So you're doing all the squats to get it strong. Your strength is made perfect in weakness. You're following the method. You're doing everything that you need to do to get it up to that 200 pounds like you want. So if you're weak at something, when you make that weakness a strength, your overall strength becomes strong. Most High is looking at us as an overall. He's not just looking at one thing. He's not just looking at, oh man, you definitely have charity, but where's your faith at? So now you got to make that faith up there with your charity as well. Everything got to be unified and evenly balanced. Everything. And that's the dope. This is the dope part too, man, about doing the work of the Most High, man. It's always something that you have to work on. It's not like the people in the world that they don't have a purpose, so they just work a 9-to-5 job. They come home, they watch TV, they repeat the next day, watch, rinse, repeat. And then when they turn 70 or 80, it's time to retire, and they've been working for Esau their whole life. So now that they're retired, they don't know what to do, and that's it for them. They just collapse because they don't have no purpose anymore. That's not how we are. We always have something that we need to work on. We always have a purpose, man. And that's what makes this life so dope, being in the truth and doing the will of the Most High. We glory in our infirmities. Why? Damn, did I jump?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I did. Read.
Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmity.
Yeah, we're supposed to glory in our infirmities. Read.
That the power of Christ may rest upon me.
Because that's how Christ is going to rest upon us, man. We're glorying. Why? Because we know why we're in the infirmity. We know why our strength is now being made perfect in weakness. That means that Christ is working with me. If I actually have the care, to say, man, I'm going through something right now, and it's actually for the Most High, and it's a weakness, but I'm working on it to make it a strength. You can glory in that. Christ is with you. But these people, like, if you watch sports, like these brothers and sisters that's playing sports,
That's dope.
they working their butt off. They tear an ACL and they working their butt off to get back on the field. Like, that's for you, man. Nobody. What do you have to really glory in that for? But us, man, we're doing surgery with our spirit every day on something that we need to work on. But we can actually glory in it. Why? Because Christ is with us, man. If I'm actually taking a step to say, man, listen, I got lust on me, but I'm making all these provisions, man, to make sure that I beat this lust. Christ is with me. I should be glorying. I should glory every time, man. I'm trying to watch a movie on one of these bootleg websites, and some type of porno comes up or something. I'm like, I can close it. Like I should be able to glory in that.
Right.
Why? Because Christ is working with me. Should be able to glory in it. If I'm trying to get off of eating hamburgers, and I drive past the burger spot and I'm really hungry and I can smell it, I'm not supposed to feel bad about that. Like, damn, I really want to eat this burger right now. I drive past it and go home, you shouldn't feel bad. You should glory in it. Why? Because Christ is with you. Christ is with you. If I'm a loner, if I'm an introvert, but right now I'm being put in predicaments where I'm around a lot of people, especially people that I would never be around in the world. But now for the work of the Most High and for the Most High's sake, I'm around these brothers and sisters that is completely contrary to my spirit, that's completely, that have a completely different interest that I have, but I'm sacrificing and making an effort to be unified with them and to get to know them and to grow with them and let them get to know me. Why? So we can do the work of the Most High. You should glory in that. Those are things to glory in. Those are things to make us better. Those are jewels in your crown. Those are talents that you're multiplying. So when Christ comes back, he's like, well done. The chariot's coming. You're scared, but you're okay. You know you can stand bold as a lion, like the scripture says in Wisdom of Solomon. Go ahead, read. Verse 10.
Verse 10. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities.
This is one thing we got to remember, man, because like the scripture says, in the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity.
Right.
Read that again.
Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmity.
Yeah, man, we got to remember when we're going through the infirmity, we got to examine the situation. Why? Because we proved ourselves, so we're aware. We're walking circumspect. We're redeeming the time. So when the infirmity comes up, we can glory in it because we know who's bringing the infirmity, but most of all, we know why the infirmity is there.
Right.
It's an infirmity for me because I'm weak at this.
Well,
You was crazy as what I was saying earlier is like when you know it's for the Most High, you don't have to worry about, dang, is it something I did in the past, or is that because I did wickedness, or you know the Most High has punished me because of this or that, you know that, or just plain oblivion to everything. That's a curse. Like to be oblivious. Well, why is this happening? I don't know. What's going on? I don't know. It's like you don't know what's going on around you. That's the world. Like why is this going on? Like I don't know, man.
Because the Most High blessed us with eyes to see and ears to hear.
Right.
So we should be able to have our, especially us being in the camp and watching online, we should be exercising our senses to see really what's going on. Like what kind of move is the Most High making? What's up, Jocelyn?
When you say glory, what do you mean by that?
To glory in your infirmities. So just like Kazak just said, right? If you know that,
Just break down glory.
Glory just means like be happy about it. Yeah. So you got to be you will start to be happy about the things you're going through.
Got it.
Because it is for Christ. That's what he meant. That's what the scripture means by glory.
Yeah.
You will rejoice as opposed to be sad about it.
Go ahead, bro.
Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities.
Read.
In reproaches.
We got to take pleasure in what?
In reproaches.
In reproaches as well. Why? Because Christ was reproached. All the prophets were reproached. So what are we going to be? A reproach. Read.
In necessities.
Yeah, we're going to be lacking a lot of times. But we're going to always be able to eat. The scripture says, I've been young and now I'm old and I've never seen the righteous forsaken or begging for bread. So there's going to be times when, yeah, we don't have the things that we need. But we're going to be, I mean, all of us got bellies. All of us got bellies. A lot of us were skinny until we came into the truth.
Right.
We came into the truth and now we have bellies. The Most High is showing us. We gonna have the things that we need. And you know, it's crazy a lot of the times, man. This is what I noticed with my journey in being in the truth. I didn't have anything when I came into the truth, and then the Most High started blessing me with things. But now that He's blessed me with things, I'm like, man, I don't even want this. Like, it's actually a hindrance now. Like, the TV is like a hindrance. The video game is a hindrance.
But it's like you said earlier, understanding is not having it. It's understanding, one, it is a blessing. Right? See, that's where the maturity is in now. You're able to say, oh yeah, dang, Tawada, I do have this. But I'm not going to put this before you. I'm not going to let this be a distraction. You know, if it's there, it's there. when I get the opportunity and time, me and my wife sit back, boom, we watching Netflix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I've been watching Netflix. You know what I mean? So I gotta be studying more.
You know,
And that, all I'm saying is that, you know, because there's nothing wrong to have, you know, a TV. Like, there's nothing wrong to have a cell phone or a pad or, you know, all the utensils that brothers have. There's nothing wrong with that.
got it.
There's nothing wrong with to have a rib. It's just that we know that this comes secondary before the Most High.
Got it.
It's not a distraction no more. As opposed in the world. In the world, what is it? All this means something more. You know what I mean? It's like I gotta have the new iPhone 10, the new Galaxy 10, the iPhone Infinity, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? I gotta have the new whip every year, or I gotta have the new the distractions.
Yeah.
Or you know what? This chick, I don't want to deal with her. She's wicked. Why? Because you don't want to teach her. Then you go, you flip through her, flip through her, flip through her, and you just flip through women.
Yeah.
Now you're like, no, I gotta appreciate that TV. The Most High gave me that.
Got it.
I gotta appreciate that rib. The Most High gave me that.
Got it.
Because I'm not just like the world. It said the wicked. It's what's it, Solomon? How they use the world at their leisure,
Oh, got it.
and they just toss it away. That's how they deal with everything. That's how the wicked does. So the difference you're saying now is, I know how to appreciate it,
Yeah.
and I know what to use it for.
Got it. Got it.
Come on.
Go ahead, bro.
God, in persecution.
Yeah, man, because we are going to get persecuted. Like we hit earlier in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 19, suffering wrongfully. A lot of times, man, those persecutions are going to be because we're just suffering wrongfully. We got to see what the Most High is doing. Read.
In distress for Christ's sake.
Read.
For when I am weak, then I am strong.
And that's the thing, man. Whenever we're made weak, then you're supposed to be made strong. You're not supposed to give up. You're not supposed to quit. You're supposed to be unmovable, be steadfast. Because then that's how you're going to be made strong. You got to go through the process. You got to be burnt in the fire to get those impurities removed from you.
Right.
So you have to go through that process of being weak, finding out, okay, this is my weakness. Let me go through the process so that now I can be strong. Now I can be useful. Now I can, like the scripture says, perfect for the master's use. Now I can be perfect for the master's use. Because that's what it's about, man. We got to be perfect for the master's use in every occasion, in everything. That's what the goal and the aim and the purpose should be, is that whatever the Most High needs me to do, I can do it, and I can do it perfectly. I can be dependent upon. But if you're double-minded, if you're unsure, you're not perfect for the master's use. You should be able to get a task, and the brother or sister not have to worry about that task being completed or that task being done the wrong way. Because think about it, when Christ is in rulership, when we get an order, if it ain't done the right way, well, first of all, when Christ comes, it shouldn't even be a thought. It should be done the right way. Why? Because we're rehearsing the righteous acts. So we're well rehearsed in it. But jump to 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 6.
That's real.
1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 6.
For the master's use. That's hard.
Oh, it's meat for the master's use.
Meat for the master's use.
1 Peter chapter 1, verse 6.
Go ahead.
Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations.
Yeah, man, we're going to be in heaviness while we're going through that process. While we're weak. Why can something tempt you? Because you're weak. So while you're going through this heaviness, through manifold temptations, you're able to be tempted from it. Why? Because you're weak to it. Like you can't tempt. You shouldn't be able to tempt any brother or sister right now in class or online or that's going to watch this class with pork or with shrimp or with lobsters. We shouldn't be, we're past that. So we can't be tempted through that. So we're not going to be in heaviness through the dietary laws. Nah, we will be in heaviness through the temptations of us dealing with the things that we lack in our spirit, through us lacking the spiritual fruit. That's what we're going to be in heaviness through. Through maybe we lacking through courage. We're not as brave. We're not as confident. We're not as courageous. So guess what? That's going to be a heaviness. That's going to be a heaviness through manifold temptations. We're going to be tempted a lot because we're not courageous or confident, or we don't have that bravery. But what is that temptation really for? It's to make you strong. Because remember, when you're weak, then you are made strong. So if you're being tempted constantly at something, if your fault is being courageous and confident, you're going to be tempted through that. You're going to be put through the fire for it.
What you're breaking down though is like a mature mind state. It's like when we just read about Joseph, and he said, "It wasn't y'all that did this to me; it was the Most High." That's like, just think about that.
Yes.
You got to be on a whole nother mental level. Yeah, you did me wrong, but it wasn't you. The Most High was showing me something.
Yep.
That is a powerful mind.
Like, what do you mean, bro? I robbed you.
Right. Well, I mean, the instance. I mean, they threw him to death.
Yeah.
They threw him to death. You know, he got sold. But yeah, you're right. The Most High. Why did the Most High do that? What was he trying to show you? You know, I say it's a mature mind state because not everybody looks at it like that. You know what I mean? You ain't looking at it like, man, oh yeah, I went through this because the Most High is trying to show me something, or I'm getting punished. Most of the time it's like, I don't deserve this. Why am I going through this? You know what I mean? This ain't right. So, but if we think the other way, then we won't be moved by these things.
Verse 7.
Verse 7. That the trial of your faith.
That the what?
The trial of your faith.
Because see, now it becomes a faith thing as well. Do you actually trust and believe in the Most High that He's going to bring you through it? Because while you're going through the fire, it's fire. It hurts. It's painful. But this is the thing. The Most High gave us a choice. And the Most High wants a free will sacrifice and a free will offering. So you have the choice to go through this fire or not. So whenever you're getting tempted, you have a choice to go through it or not. But the Most High wants you to go through it, but He wants a free will offering. So it's a what? It's a trial of your faith. Do you trust and believe in the Most High? Do you love the Most High? Do you believe that the Most High is going to bring you through it? Do you see the bigger picture of why you're going through it? Read.
Being much more precious than of gold that perisheth.
Why? Because that's more precious than of gold, man. Listen, Floyd Mayweather spent $18 million on a watch. You're going to be more precious than that watch. How do you spend $18 million on a watch? But as you can see, like his mind is gone. But you're worth way more than gold. You're a human. Floyd Mayweather will look at you like, man, what are you doing? You better get this money. But the scripture is telling you right here, you're worth much more than gold that perisheth. He looking at his watch like his watch is worth more than you, because we live this life. But a lot of times when we don't see that, we don't actually see that, man, what I'm doing is much more precious than of gold. Me coming to class and sitting here for 3 hours and learning, that's much more precious than gold, than this $18 million watch that this dude just bought.
What we read for the first day of Purim was the profession of our faith. That's his job. Floyd Mayweather wants to be that. What do you want to be? What is your profession? So when you're settled in your mind what you want to be and what you're doing it for, you'll be just like Floyd Mayweather, but in the truth. He thinks that's glory. His watch, his money is his glory. We know this is our glory.
Right.
So it shouldn't be, you can't be ashamed of that. You know, but the only way you won't be ashamed is if you know that this is your profession.
Right.
You won't be there could nothing move you. Like I said, it's gonna take you to your old. It ain't just a fad. It ain't just I'm a Hebrew Israelite. The next 4 or 5 years I'm a Hebrew Israelite. But I don't know, man. 5%ers is looking. I might dab a little bit into the 5%ers, or the Messianic, Afro, simplistic, centristic Hebrew, right?
Right.
You know what, man? I gotta go back pimping. You know, there shouldn't be a plan B. There should be a plan to increase in what you're doing, and to move forward, and to build, and to make success in what you're doing. That's what it should be.
And that's when your mind is like that. When your mind is like that, man, that's the most free you'll ever be doing this.
Right.
That's why the scripture says, remember your first love. Because when you first got the awakening of the truth, you woke up and that zeal started burning. That first love was there. The only thing you cared about was, man, let me research, let me find.
Yep.
Let me root myself. You rooted yourself. So you were happy. You were happy. Think about how great your mind felt because you were learning. You was that newborn baby that just came out of the womb and you get milk and you just going crazy because you're getting milk. But yeah, you just be going crazy because you get that milk.
That's how the babies do.
Yeah.
They swear it's the best thing in life.
They should be breathing hard, bro. It'd be so funny, man. But
yeah,
that's how it was for us, man. We was getting it, but now as we gotten older, it's like
it's like I'm jaded. Khan, Hebrew Israelite, Black Power, Shalom, no spirit. But that's to people that it's like we were talking the other day. It's where no vision is. They don't have no vision. They came in, the thrill is gone. You know what I mean? They realize that it's not a church thing, and they got to work. It's that fake Hebrew, man. It's that Christianity mind state.
Yeah.
You know, because when it's something you love, bro. Look at the people that love. There had to be something in our life before the truth that you loved, that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you put your time, you put your spirit, you put your dedication. You know, eventually that failed, right?
Right.
Eventually you grew out of that. Whether you was a child, you was like, I'm going to be this when I grow up. That love failed for that, right? This ain't the same thing.
I know.
This ain't the same thing. Your love can't fail for this. This can't be a fad. You have to be unmovable, unwavering.
All right. Go ahead, read, brother.
Con. Though it be tried with fire.
Actually, read it from the top.
Con. Verse 7. That trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ.
And that's what it's about, man. That's what's not gonna fail. Come on, man, think about it. We busted our butts when we was in high school trying to play football, trying to play basketball. And for what? Half these football players, their bodies is beaten up. They go broke after the first or second year. That's what we chased. Think about a basketball player. Their knees are done. Kobe going to be in a wheelchair the next 15, 20 years. Derrick Rose probably already getting ready to be in a wheelchair. Knees messed up. They got money, but they're mentally, they're not there. Mentally, they're not happy. They're not. Look at, perfect example. You had the Jamaican singer that just came out of jail, Buju, right? Buju did 7 or 10 years in jail. Buju is one of the most, he's like on Bob Marley status in Jamaica. Well known for his music. Does good music, does great music actually. But he's released from jail. He has 17 kids, and one of his child wants him back in jail, like literally sent a message to Trump saying put him back in jail for the rest of his life. And he was like, you know this man is messed up when he comes out of jail and only 10 of his 17 kids, no, 10 out of his 17 kids don't deal with him at all. But think about that. They chased that. He chased what he chased, but his own family don't deal with him? Come on, man. You know Floyd Mayweather, he can buy an $18 million watch, but how do you think his kids are? If you was to have a conversation with Floyd, if somebody was to have a conversation with Floyd or any one of us that know about the truth, that person would much rather have a conversation with us.
You know, when it comes to that, you got to see that regardless of whether they have joy in those things in the world or not, they do it for a corruptible crown. You know, because in reality, a lot of them do have joy in wickedness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have fun in it. You know, they have joy in that. And the peeing on each other, the orgies, the drugs. Like, look at these rappers. They having fun. You know, some of them love it.
Yeah.
You know, they do it for a corruptible crown. We supposed to be doing it for an incorruptible.
Right.
So just as much as they're fighting for that, we got to fight for this. I think that's why we're using you're using that now. This example is to remind us that look at what the world does and how they go out for it. They go out for the lies, the falsehood, the homosexuality, or we did it in the world without the truth. We got to do that for the Most High.
Like that same intensity.
Same energy.
But really more.
Yeah.
Because we didn't stick to anything in the world. You didn't really commit to anything in the world. You were in the military, you dropped out. You know what I mean? You wanted to be something in high school, what happened? Who got the NBA career? Football career? Right? No. None of you, right? So why? Because you're sitting here in class. Who's going to be the model, the next top model? You're here in class. You know what I mean? I'm talking about brothers. Right? If you was going to be the next top model, brother, you didn't make it, right? You're here in class. So that's the point. The point is that it's got to be more than that. It can't just be the, the fad. We keep saying it. Yeah. The class title is unmovable. Like, how are we going to be unmovable? How are we going to die in this as old men and to be able to see your children come up with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the righteous ones? I'm very, very selective when I say that because I'm going to say this. Our kids even have to choose righteousness. You can't make them righteous. Remember that. You know what I mean? Eventually they're going to get older and they're going to have to follow the laws and commandments themselves.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Job chapter 23 and verse 10. Job chapter 23 and verse 10. Because remember, we just read the First Peter's 1 and 7, that the child of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried by fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh Shai. And that's why we do it, man. Job chapter 23 verse 10.
Job chapter 23 verse 10.
Go ahead.
But he knoweth the way that I take.
And how does Christ know the way that you take? Remember in Corinthians, you got the scripture that says, ye are known of the Father, or rather now you are known of the Father.
Right.
So we are known of Christ. Why? Because we took his path. I am the way, the truth, the life. So he knows the way that we take. Why? Because we're doing the same things that he did. We're moving the same way he moved. We went through the same sufferings that he goes through. Not to the exact level that he went through, but we're doing it. We're taking his path. We're taking his yoke. So he knows the way that we take. Read.
When he had tried me, I shall come forth as gold.
Yeah, when as Christ is trying us, we're going to come forth as gold. Because that's what the trying does. We're not going to get burnt up. We're not the stubble. We're not the, in Corinthians, it got the list of everything.
Right. The hay, the wood, the stubble, precious stones.
Yeah, we're not the silver.
Right.
We're not almost the gold. We're not almost as worthy as the gold. Nah, we are the gold. We are the gold. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 22, verse 18. Because see, this is the thing, man. We can't, when we go through that fire, we can't fold under the fire. Because we understand that the fire is meant to make us better. It's meant to burn off our impurities. And those impurities have to be burnt off. Because we have to be meat for the master's use. So if the master is ready to use us, but we're not pure, what do you do with that? Throw it away. It's like if you're ready to eat your food and you go into the kitchen and you get the fork. Well, you see that this fork hasn't been washed right. Oh yeah, I'm not using that. You throw it in the sink. You know what I'm saying? Or you're about to cook your food.
You gotta wash it.
Yeah, you gotta wash it. But that's the thing. But what if that fork don't want to get washed? You can't use it. So it's like, say you about to cook some food, you burnt your pot. You burnt the food in the pot, so now the pot is like really black. It's hard to get the black stuff off. So you really gotta work hard to get this black, to get the burnt off the pot so that you can use it, so that you can cook with it. Because if you try to cook with this pot that got the burnt stuff on it, your food's not gonna come out right because it's already got the burnt stuff on it. Your food's gonna be messed up. So when the scripture tells you that we have to be meat for the master's use, the trial that we go through, it burns off our impurities. It burns us up so that we're meat for the master's use. Because if he tries to use us and we're not pure, what's going to happen? Just like, what's up?
You're going to fall away.
You're going to fall away. But just like another thing, like the scripture says, the word of the Most High is blasphemed through us and the Gentiles. Mm-hmm. So if we're not up to par, and we're put in a situation where we got to be used, where we got to represent the Most High, we're going to make them look bad. It's like if we never put the effort in to like purify our speech, how we talk to people, then we will be looking like animals. I'm trying to word this right, but we will be like animals out there when we street speak. We will push away more people than we will bring in.
Right.
If every time they looked out there, all they hear is the N word, the B word, the F word, us cussing out Edomites to the point where they want to fight us, it'll look bad. So we have to be meat for the master's use. We gotta go through that process. We gotta go through the process, because if not, we ain't gonna be ready. Ecclesiastes chapter 22, verse 18.
Hills set on a high place will never stand against the wind.
So you got a pail that you put up, right? It's like a flag. You put a flag up in the air. As soon as that wind blows, the flag is gonna move. It's gonna move. It's gonna flop. Read.
So a fearful heart in the imagination of a fool cannot stand against any fear.
So when we are put in a certain situation, when we have a fearful heart, when we're double-minded, when we're unstable, when we're very movable, as soon as that temptation comes, man, it's over. We're done. We're done.
Where's that at?
That's Ecclesiastes chapter 22, verse 18. We fold. We fold under the worst possible time. It's like right now, Passover is coming up. Sisters working hard to get the garments. Brothers is working hard to make sure that we got the location, everything secured. What if one of us wigs out? The brother or the sister. Why? Because it's too much. I'm not getting any sleep. I'm not good at sewing and I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn to be a help. my selfishness is kicking in. What'll happen? It'll fall. It's not gonna fall, but it's gonna get hindered. It's gonna slow down the process. Whatever the Most High has us doing, it's gonna slow down. Because you can't stop the Most High's work. So it's gonna slow down. So it's the same thing with this. The fearful, read the second precept.
So a fearful heart and the imagination of a fool cannot stand against any fear.
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to stand. We're not gonna be able to stand against anything. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 10. And then Major, you can give me Numbers chapter 13, verse 17.
Proverbs chapter 24, verse 10.
Go ahead.
If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small.
Yeah, your strength is small if you faint during the day of adversity. This day of adversity is only going to make you stronger. But if you faint, your strength is small. Remember, the Most High is not going to give you what you can't handle. It's not going to give you what you can't handle. Numbers chapter 13, verse 17. This is a beautiful story right here. We always quote it. We're going to touch on it just a little bit.
Come.
Read verse 17 and 18.
Come. Numbers chapter 13, verse 17.
Go ahead.
And Moses sent them to spy out of the land of Canaan.
The land of Canaan was Israel. That's our land. Read.
And said unto them, get you up this way southward, and go up into the mountain, and see the land, what it is, and the people that dwelleth therein, whether they be strong or weak, few or many.
So, the Most High let us out of Egypt. Most High let us out of Egypt. We done seen all the signs. We've seen everything. We've seen the Most High open up the ground and swallow up people, send serpents against us, turn the bitter water into sweet water. We've seen Moses hit the rock and water come out. We've seen Pharaoh and his army drown. We've seen the manna. We've seen so much from the Most High. And now we're right here on the cusp of our kingdom. Just like right now, man. Just like right now. We're right there on the cusp of our kingdom. It's around the corner. We're right here. Verse 25. Jump to verse 25.
Good. Verse 25. And they returned from searching of the land after 40 days.
Read.
And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land.
So, we're right there on the cusp of our kingdom. We're seeing everything going on right now. We see everything going on in America. It's gonna fall. We see it all. We see how people's moral code is gone. Their civil code is gone. We see it all. So we know the times is getting close. Read.
Con. Verse 27. And they told him and said, we came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it.
Like the scripture says, taste the Most High and see that he's good. We're in the work. We see, man, it's beautiful. We've celebrated a couple Passovers. I mean, if you just came into the truth, we celebrated a couple Passovers. We celebrated a couple of high holy days. We see the unity. We see the benefits of the unity. We see the benefits of the brotherhood. We see the growth in brothers and sisters. We see so much. We see so much good. And we see through a glass still half clear. We see just a little bit. Just a little bit.
But just enough.
But just enough. Just enough. Read.
Come. Verse 28. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land,
Read.
And the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there.
So we see everything that the Most High has done for us. But we're still looking at these people. We're still looking at these people in the world and we're like, oh man, damn, he got the Challenger. He got the Challenger.
You got the Durango.
Yeah. Oh man, he's making $20 an hour. We're looking at the carnal attributes of people.
He said,
We're looking at those things. We're looking at Floyd Mayweather's $18 million watch. We're looking at the carnal things of the world still. Read.
Verse 29. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites.
Jump to verse 30.
Come, verse 30. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are able to overcome it.
So we're able to overcome it. You got Caleb right here. Caleb is telling us, these men, they're like, oh man, you got these giants in there, you got all these people over there. Caleb was like, nah, forget all that. Listen, we can overcome it. We can take over. This is our land. This is what's promised to us from Abraham. This is our land. We've seen everything that the Most High has done. From Egypt all the way until this point. We've seen the 10 plagues of Egypt. We've seen Egypt, a kingdom that we never thought would ever be overthrown. We've seen all this. And now we're here. Of course the Most High is going to give this to us. You think the Most High just let us here for us to die right on the border of our land? So you're telling me that we've survived the abortion clinics, we survived the food, the Monsanto, we survived these vaccinations, the cancer, the diabetes.
right.
We survived slavery. We survived the conquistadors, the Spaniards. We survived all this up until this point, right now, 2019. And the Most High is just going to forsake us. We totally, Israel was no more in our remembrance. And the Most High put it back into our remembrance. The camp started, the brothers and sisters teaching His word started small. Look how it's grown. Brothers and sisters is growing every day, waking up every day.
Yep.
And we're right there at the end. And you're going to have men give an evil report? Like the Most High has had us this whole time. But you had one brother. You had Caleb that was still unmovable. That still was steadfast. That still had the faith and was like, we're going to overcome them. We got this.
That's what I was saying about you can't worry about the people. Bruh, think about how many is going to die, right? As a drop to away, right?
Kind.
So how many doubters? How many unbelievers?
Yep.
That's the thing. They're there to pull you down, pull you away, break your spirit, break your zeal, right? You get that. That enthusiastic person. They have no zeal, they got no life, they got no motivation. You got to see, man, we can't let them be our reason. We always pull it. It says in Proverbs about the betraying of the simple. I say slayeth them. Right? You look at the simple-minded, you see what they got, what they're doing, and that easily sways your mind. I mean, that's not going to sway the righteous anyway. That's not going to. The truth is this, and I'm not going to take your class way off. I'm just saying that. Listen, bruh, the righteous, the chosen, they're not going to go nowhere. They're not going to do any other thing. He said, "My sheep hear my voice." You know, but this class is reminding us of the things that are going to try to veer you.
Yeah.
But truthfully, if you're chosen, you ain't gonna move. It ain't gonna be a fad. It ain't gonna be, oh, I'm just doing it this week and then next week I'm doing something else. If you're not chosen, yeah, you're gonna jump. You're gonna go right back in the world. You're gonna forget about your nation, your people, Christ's sacrifice. You're gonna forget about all of that. You're gonna go right back to the things of the flesh that you want more. But the chosen ain't gonna turn either way it goes.
Sir, read on.
Read on. Verse 31. But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we.
Look at that.
The doubters.
Unfaithfulness, doubters.
Doubters, yeah.
Complainers, murmurers.
Yeah.
Backbiters.
Yeah, you get that?
Sowing discord.
Wow, man, I have to, and you know, finally my ribs got it. You know, it's like, don't worry about that. Well, this sister, she doesn't motivate. She's not motivated. She comes in as just sad puppy mode. Well, this sister right here, she don't really want to do nothing. Every time we want to do this, she want to do that. It's like, don't worry about that. You know what I mean? Don't worry about that. You do what you do. Stay in your lane, bro. You understand? You got to stay in your lane. Don't worry about all that, because that's supposed to be there, but to distract you from your purpose. If that's distracting you, then there's a problem with you. It ain't them, right? If you're claiming to see, your eyes are open, your third eye's open, your spiritual eye, if it's open, then that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm like, okay, yeah, shalom. You keep moving. So, you know, that's what I'm going to say it again. If you're distracted and you're going to keep letting things distract you, maybe this is not meant for you. Maybe you're not the chosen. Maybe you're doomed to death and destruction. Maybe you're, I mean, you better ask yourself. You know what I mean? That's what you got to know within yourself. The truth is the truth. You know what I mean? Everything that's written in here, it must be fulfilled. Right? Everybody's like, damn.
Choose to say what you want to serve.
I was thinking about something.
What's that?
Nah, it's what you were saying, basically.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah, kind of. Go ahead.
Verse 32. And they brought up an evil report of the land, which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying.
So the Most High promised us this land. You really gonna bring up an evil report on what the Most High promised us? This is the Most High working. This is the Most High's method. But you're really gonna bring up an evil report on what the Most High has ordained. You see, it works. Read.
Saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof.
So the Most High told us to gather together, O nations not desired. And nah, I'm not going to do that. Camps are bad. Read.
God. Is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof.
Read.
And all the people that we saw in it are men of a great stature.
Verse 33, last one.
And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak.
Yeah, man, we're looking at people through carnal lenses. We look at them. We look at everything through a carnal lens, actually. I'm not going to say people, just everything. We look at the trial that we have to go through or the afflictions that we're going through. We look at it so carnally that we don't see the actual spiritual side behind it. Anything that we're told to do, like from the smallest thing, we don't ever look at it from the bigger picture. We just look at it all through carnal lenses. Read.
Which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers.
And then we look at ourselves unworthy. Oh man, I'm not going to do that. Why am I doing that? I ain't doing that. I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna talk to her. I'm not finna talk to him. Oh, bro, I gotta work with you all day.
Right.
Oh, so I got this department with you. So me and you gonna have this department for months. We down ourselves in everything because we look at it through the carnal lenses, and we're just quick to flee. Read.
Come. And we, Salah.
Go ahead.
And we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight.
And yeah, because we look at ourselves like that, they look at us like that. We make the situation overcome us. Give me Revelations chapter 22, verse 11. Revelations chapter 22, verse 11.
Y'all got any questions so far? Anybody got any questions? Live? Live? Okay.
Revelations chapter 22, verse 11.
Go ahead.
He that is unjust, let him be unjust still.
Listen, if you don't want to learn, if you don't care to do the Most High's work, if you don't want to at least let me work to make my weaknesses into strengths, let me humble myself, let me have humility, let me take the correction, let me take the counsel and better myself. Read from the top.
He that is unjust, let him be unjust still.
Listen, man, you're going to stay unjust when Christ comes.
Let's go. Where's that one at?
It's Revelation chapter 22, verse 11.
Right, okay.
Read.
Continue on.
Yes, sir.
And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still.
Yeah, if you don't want to clean yourself up so that you could be meat for the master's use,
Damn.
so that you can actually be the pork that can be used, the pot that can actually be cooked with. Oh man, well, you can stay filthy. Go ahead.
Come. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still.
And listen, for those that, you know what, I'm not super stable. I'm not a pillar right now, but guess what? I'm trying. It says what? Read that part again.
And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still.
Guess what? I'ma still fight. I'ma still fight to obtain that. I'ma still fight to turn this weakness into a strength. I'ma still fight. I'm slothful. Guess what? I'ma fight. I'ma fight to get rid of this slothfulness.
Right.
If I'm a complainer, I'ma fight. Everything negative, I'ma fight. I'm not just gonna lay down, give up. Nah, we gonna fight. Read.
And he that is holy, let him be holy still.
Yeah, we still gonna be holy. Read.
Damn.
Verse 12.
That's cold.
And behold,
With that heat gun.
I come quickly.
Yeah, because guess what? Christ is coming quickly. To us, Christ is gonna come quick. Christ is gonna come quick. Because why? The day's gonna be cut short for whose sake? The elect's sake.
God.
And this is what's gonna make you an elect.
Ooh.
When you're striving and you're fighting.
Ooh.
I'm weak at something, yes, but I'm gonna fight to become strong and stable and unmovable. Unmovable for my nation. I'm gonna be that Noah's Ark for my nation. Christ's gonna come quick. Why? Because we're not slothful. We're not
You're not just sitting around. You're busy.
Yeah, you're moving. Idleness teaches much evil. We're not idle. There's always something to be done. There's always something to work on.
Like, think about your days, how quick they go. Think about your weeks and months, how fast it goes. You know, everybody in the world, it's like, man, everything's just slow. Dragging. But us, it's like, Sabbaths come like this. Street speaking comes like that. Right? And then next you know, remember, it was just January. It's already what?
March. Yeah. Almost coming up on Passover.
Just
had the rim.
Just had the rim. See, the Most High is doing that for us.
Mm-hmm.
That way when we look up, you know, I'm going to tell you, I always say it, man. All I know, I was 20 and then 10 years, boom, it was like you 30. And now it's like, okay, now you're 40. Like, time flies, man, when you're doing this work. But you've been busy. And then you start a good track record. When you get your act together, you start a good track record of mending your ways. So you can look back and say, okay, yeah, luckily the Lord doesn't look at my sins of my youth. Or I pray to the Most High that He don't look at the sins of my youth. And you can start seeing now you're cleaning up. But don't waste time. You don't want it to be like now you get in your 30s, you're stubborn. You get in your 40s, you're rebellious. Then that spirit gets on you, that spirit. I've been like this all my life, boy. Ain't nobody gonna change me. Right? You get that spirit. You see? You better watch it.
All right. Finish it up.
And my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be.
And that's beautiful, man. It says his reward is with him to give every man according as his work shall be. But if you touch back in verse 11, it says, he that is unjust, let him just be unjust. If he that is filthy, let just be filthy then. Since you don't want to fight, just be filthy. I'd rather you be cold or hot, not lukewarm. Just choose one.
That's cold.
Just choose one. Because guess what? Christ is coming quickly to give every man according as his work shall be. And what is the work? The work is for you, if you're unjust, let me at least fight to be just. If I'm filthy, let me fight to be pure. And if I'm holy, let me fight to stay holy. If I'm righteous, let me fight to stay righteous. That's the work. That's what Christ is coming to give you the reward for. Them talents got multiplied. Them fruits of the Spirit got added. And that's what it's about. Jump to Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5.
Go ahead.
Thus said the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man.
Read.
And maketh flesh his arm.
Yeah, man, we're cursed. A lot of us are cursed because we trust in ourselves. We trust in other people, but we trust in ourselves. And when we trust in ourselves, we're trusting the old man. So a lot of us are cursed because that's what we trust in. We don't trust in the Most High. We might feel like we trust in the Most High because we watch class, and because we come to class, and we can read, and we can drop scripture, and we can even teach. A lot of us, we feel like we trust in the Most High because we can do that, but do we really? Do we really when we're not making forth, when the fire comes, when it's time for us to show that, yeah, we're gold, we don't even want to go through the process? Do we really trust in the Most High? When as soon as something happens, we were separated from the love of Christ?
Easily.
Easily, read.
And make it flesh his arms.
Yeah, man becomes our strength. Or our own selves. We are our own strength. We depend on ourselves. I'm an independent woman, or I'm an independent man. I'm an independent Israelite. Read.
And whose heart departed from the Lord.
Why? Because now we don't even think about the Most High in our ways. We're not conscious of Him. In any situation that we're put in anything that we're told to do, in any order that's dropped, in any method, anything that happens, we don't think about the Most High. We think about ourselves. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10.
Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee. Yeah, I will help thee.
Yeah, the Most High will help us. Read.
Yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness.
And that's what we got to remember, man. That this is how we become unmovable. Because we are going to be put in those predicaments when we're going to be fearful. Well, we might have some dismay, but it tells you that the Most High is with us. And if we really truly believe that, then we understand that the Most High got us. When have the
righteous ever been forsaken?
Oh yeah.
Right.
God. So jump to 2nd Ezra chapter 7 verse 57. Go ahead, bro.
2nd Ezra chapter 7 verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight.
Yeah, this is the condition of the battle, man. We're all going through it. Every one of us is going through it. That's just the condition of the battle. We're going to fight. So if you're unjust, are you going to still be unjust, or are you going to at least fight to be just? If you're filthy, are you going to fight to be pure and clean, or are you going to stay filthy? It's the condition of the battle. Choose ye this day, life or death. But when you fight, it makes you unmovable. It makes you unmovable if you want to strive for righteousness. If you want to strive for the masters, that's how you're going to stay unmovable. Verse 58, go ahead.
That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said.
Yeah, if you get overcome by the fight, you're going to suffer. But this is the thing, you're going to suffer either way. Because people in the world suffering. Just because they got money don't make it, that don't mean nothing.
And they're realizing that now. That's why you got all the actors and rappers, and they're trying to become conscious.
Okay.
You know, T.I., Snoop Dogg, and certain rappers that are getting older. If you listen to them, they're trying to throw, like, now, mature now. It's like, yeah, bro, but you done promoted all your albums.
Yeah.
And it'd be fake anyway, because when they put their next album out, what is it going to be about? Saying drugs, adultery, whoredom, murder and death, right? Everything it's in their mind, they're going to come out with that same spirit.
You know, it's crazy. You got there's this lady that we know at the mall. She dealt with James Harden, right? And she'll tell you that, okay, so James Harden is like the MVP of the NBA. We know this. $28 million a year, I think. He's rich. But think about it. Just think about James Harden. She was saying that he doesn't trust anybody. She was like, he doesn't have anybody. She was like, he's just lonely. All he does is drink. His life is drink, sex, basketball. But he has $28 million though. He's the MVP. He got the MVP trophy. He's living the dream. He plays basketball for a living. But she was saying, and you can already see that. You can already tell. But she was like, he's so known, he can't go anywhere. Everybody knows him. He can't just go and eat somewhere. He can't just go and do something. He can't even like really drive a car because somebody will see him and be like, oh crap, it's James Harden. He can't even really do stuff. You can't trust anybody. So you look at them, because that's what they paint for the black and Latino man. Play ball or sell dope. And you play ball and you make it, but your life is like that. Or you sell dope, but then you end up being in jail. So it's like, we don't have anything. So it's like the condition of the battle that we're going to face, like, what do you want? Do you rather fight for the Most High, and for you fighting for your Most High is actually you fighting for yourself to make yourself right so that you can make your nation right. The fight for the Most High ain't bad.
It's a fake dream, man.
Yeah.
It's a fake dream. Everything that America has to offer is fake.
Correct.
That's why when you really look at it, it's like I always say, like, if the Bible's a comic book, I'd rather believe in the Bible than believe in what America's selling. Because whatever they're selling is what? Work until you die? That's it. That's all it is. That's what life is to an American, right? Success, work, and then you die.
Yep.
That's it. And in between is what? Clubbing, right? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yep.
In between that. That's it. You're dead. Man. Yeah.
You know, I like how you said that America's fake, right? Because America is a facade. But when you think back to the story that we just read about Joshua and Caleb, how they came to the land and they see these giants in the land and how we were grasshoppers in the sight of them. all that was a facade.
Mm-hmm.
If you were really a land filled with giants, I'm not saying there weren't giants, but
Oh, they were giants.
yeah, there were giants, but giants should be able to just wipe us out. But they didn't. So what does that mean? We was just carnal looking at them. They were giants, yes, but we didn't think about, they're giants, but
We didn't think
this
about
land is
we didn't remember that it doesn't matter.
gone.
Giants, Superman, if the Most High is on our side, it didn't matter.
Gone.
And that's where Caleb and Joshua, their mentality was like, be of good courage.
Gone.
Like when you go back to Joshua 1, that's how he starts out. Like, because Israel's fearful. So he's like, listen, be of good courage. Go in here, we're going to do this.
Gone.
But that was one man. It's always one out of how many? And you're that man. You be that man in your house. The unwaverable man that, like your rib doesn't see it. Like, why is he so adamant and stern for the Most High? Because if I don't do it, your doubt will come in me, and then next you know, the whole house will suffer. You see that? See that's why in your house, when you're doubting like your rib, you're double-minded, you're emotional, like your rib, what happens? It implodes. But if you got one person in there strong, guiding and you know, orchestrating, right? Everything can still roll, even though you get that spirit that try to come and break that zeal. If you got strength, you can still keep that structure going. The order, the discipline, the love, the unity, all these things. But once you fall into that spirit, what happens? Everybody goes down. Yeah. So your importance of why you're the pillar in the house, why you're the pillar. I'm not saying the man. I'm not saying the one. I'm saying both of you also. There's got to be somebody strong. You know what I mean? There's got to be somebody with wisdom and understanding. You know? So sometimes it might be the woman. Sometimes it might be the man. It should be both of you for the children, right?
Yeah. Sorry. 2 Chronicles 32, verse 7. 2 Chronicles chapter 32, verse 7 and verse 8.
Second Chronicles chapter 32, verse 7. Be strong and courageous.
So it says, read from top.
Be strong and courageous.
Read.
Be not afraid nor dismayed for the king of Assyria.
So this was a time when we were about to go to a war against the Assyrians. Go ahead.
Nor for all the multitude that is with him.
Go ahead.
For there be more with us than with him.
And this is the thing. When he said that, they're probably looking like, if you had a carnal mind, you would have been like, there's way more of them than there is of us. I can count. But they're not thinking, oh yeah, we got the Most High and the angels on our side.
Right.
And that's what we got, man. Whenever anything happens, we got to remember, we got to be unmovable, man. Because we got the angels and the Most High on our side. Whenever we're by ourselves, whenever it's two of us, yeah, it's not just us. Remember, one man shall make 1,000 flee. Why? Because we got the angels on our side. We got the Most High with us. Verse 8.
With him is an arm of flesh.
Yeah, because with them, their strength is flesh. Read it from the top. Verse 8.
With him is an arm of flesh.
So their strength is flesh. Read.
But with us is the Lord our power to help us.
At all times. So why will we not be unmovable? Why do we faint in the day of adversity? Read.
And to fight our battles. And the people rested themselves upon the words of Hezekiah, king of Judah.
Beautiful. Hebrews chapter 10, Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. And I like that last scripture too, man, because it says that, but with us is the Lord our God to help us and to fight our battles. Most High fights our battles, man. He helps us to fight our battles. That's one thing we got to remember. He's there with us. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses.
So yeah, we got this innumerable amount of angels that surround us at all times, along with the Most High. Read.
Let us lay aside every weight.
Yeah, let us lay aside every weight, everything that weighs us down. Oh man, I don't got a car yet. I don't got a house yet. I don't got a wife yet. I don't got no money. I got child support. I got bills. I got so much. Lay it aside, man. Lay aside all those weights. Read.
And the sin which doth so easily beset you.
Because it easily
Set
besets
us.
us. Yeah, it easily besets us. When we're weighed down like that, when we're weighed down by our carnal mind, as soon as something happens, oh man, we're beset. Why? Because our mind isn't on the Most High. Our mind is on these other things. So when the temptation comes, we're not ready, because we're musing on the wrong things. So we're not prepared. We're that thief. We're that house that got broken into by the thief at night. We weren't ready. So it happens and we just fall. Read.
And let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
And why do we have to run with patience this race? Because it doesn't happen overnight. Us going through the trial, it takes time. Look at Joseph, man. Joseph was in Egypt since he was 17. He was in Egypt for some years, man, before the brothers actually came and he met back up with the brothers. I forgot the amount of time, but he was there for over 20 years. Think about when Jacob went to, when he fled from Esau, and he went and got his two ribs. He was with his uncle for 20 years. 7 for one rib, 7 for the other rib, and then it was another 6 or 7 until he could leave. So we got to run with patience. Remember, the Most High works off of His time, not ours. So when we're being put through the trial, it's not gonna happen overnight. So you can't just give yourself a time limit, like, oh yeah, I want to do this by this time. I want to do that by that time. That's good, but if you fail to make it at that time limit, you can't let that bring you down. You gotta understand, it's not the Most High's will yet.
Right.
Verse 2, go ahead.
Verse 2. Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith.
Yahushua.
Who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross.
So Christ is the author. Yahushua is the author and finisher of our faith. And read that part again.
From the top.
Right after who for the joy.
Who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross.
It was a joy. It was a joy for him to endure the cross. And it has to be a joy for us to endure whatever we're going through. That's the only way it's worth it. That's the only way we can come forth as that goal. Remember, the Most High don't want us to do this constraintly. The Most High wants a willing offering, a willing sacrifice. It has to be joyous. It should be joyous to us, man. It should be joyous for us to know that, man, I came in an adulterer. I'm not an adulterer no more. I came in slothful. I'm not slothful no more. I came in fearful, a coward. I'm not any of that no more. I came in lustful, not lustful no more. It should be joyous, man, for us to know that we overcame all these things.
Yep.
That we endured the cross. That we endured the chastening. That we actually endured something in our life.
Come on.
We ain't endured nothing in this world.
No, you gave into everything.
You gave into all the lust of the flesh. Anything you wanted, you desire, you did.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that was it?
I can go down, but
No, it's 10. Do y'all got any other, do y'all got any questions on this?
La.
can I say one thing?
Let me hear the la.
La.
Yeah.
One more thing. Finish verse 2.
Come on.
Verse 2. Finish it.
Despising the
A
shame.
lot of us got to despise the shame, man.
Right.
We don't do that. We don't despise, like, if I'm feeling a certain type of way, like, if I'm feeling lustful to the point where I want to go beat my meat, we're supposed to despise that shame. We're supposed to despise that. If I feel bad because I don't have no confidence, you're supposed to despise that. You're supposed to despise feeling slothful, lazy, unmotivated. You're supposed to despise the fact that you hate being corrected, that you hate being put back on the right path, that you hate counseling, that you hate just being obedient. You're supposed to despise that. Read.
Now, I like the way he's bringing it out, because what he's doing is showing us that energy that you put in to all the things that you used to like, you got to despise that feeling, right?
Right.
What it's saying here also, you know, I should say most of all, it's saying that despising the shame is they looked at you in the world. They talk about you when you don't celebrate Christmas, right? You didn't let that work on you. You looked down upon that shame. Y'all see that? And said, you know what? It doesn't matter if you don't like me. Mom, dad, brother, sister, uncle, family. It don't matter if you don't like me. I'm fine with that. I'll take that shame on me, and that's what I'm gonna look down at. That hurt and that pain and that suffering. Y'all see that? Yeah. Con. Yeah, it's 10. He's got a lot. You know, and we didn't even answer questions, so that was a meaty class. I know some of y'all got in late. We'll see if anything is online. Does anybody got any question online?
No, sir.
We'll give y'all a few seconds. If y'all got any questions online. Once again, this is a busy season for us to, you got a lot of, all the sisters are going to be preparing for the Passover. We had a real blast with Purim. Hopefully y'all, Purim was just the same. We came together, we ate. Brothers and sisters gave out gifts. So if y'all got any questions, I'm opening it up now, because we didn't get to answer y'all questions. Let me see here. Let me log in real quick and see if y'all got any questions real quick. Before we run. And y'all know the deal. Let's see here. Yeah, we appreciate that, man. We appreciate y'all love, the positivity. Brother said, brothers never disappoint. Great class. Shalom. The Most High knows we're wearing. He sent us a comfort. Yeah. We have to get right to lift up our family. Okay, so no questions. Yeah. The water, man. The water for all the positivity. That's what we need in there. The strength, the unity. And that's what these classes are for. They're to gear us up. So keep that in mind. You know, we know we hit on these things, but you got to be armored up. We have to be prepared for this demonic world. So, all right, since nobody got any questions, I'll look back just in case, because, yeah, no questions. Everybody salute them, say shalom.
Shalom.
We'll see y'all Friday on the Shabbat. All right? You got that over there?
Yes, sir.
And with that, we will say Aymadyam wa Panyahakwadam, which is stand and face the east. Say prayers when we get out of here.
For him.
You got that?
Yes, sir.
I don't think it's called. Okay.
It's still there.
Did you click it?
Shalom, black.